refuse to put their name on the line.
All right, we are live again.
We're not going. That's the
At
legislation.
the Rage Against War rally. Sorry about the previous stream, but
Congress must put their name on the
yeah,
line
we were
before
having
we put our boots on the ground. And if they
But
can't do
we
that
are
one
back
simple
now.
thing, I've got nothing left for them. I'll leave DC and go back to the States where the
going on,
vote is
Alex?
real. This is how
I'm
we
good,
bring our
man.
troops
A lot
on.
of ADD,
This is how
a
we
lot of
bring in the federal
autism.
government whose interests
A
have
lot
become
of,
alien to our
dude
own.
that
This is how we prove that the Beltway, that we the people.
Yeah,
have the
yeah. He
final
was like
say.
this total frat bro, and I'm
If
like,
you're one of
look,
those
we're trying
patriots
to
who
get our
is
audio
here
squared away.
willingly
We're trying to go
standing
live
shoulder to
here.
shoulder with
Like,
other
give me a reason why
patriots
Ross is shooting.
opposed to these wars, then I challenge
wanna
you
know
to
what
do
the
your
argument
duty and
is.
enlist in our
well,
armed
what he was trying to
by
argue, I
visiting
think, is that so there were people
defendthegard.us.
on it.
Sign our petition and help us in the fight.
Yeah,
This
I
veteran
mean, we
led
should
movement
shut down
is
the
not
entire
about
internet
stopping one
because
war.
I think so.
It's about
I think we
restoring the
should.
balance of power in our
Comcast,
country. It's
go
about
after,
reassuring our rights, the rights of the state and of the people.
Verizon,
It's about permanently securing our future from the death grips of the crooked,
Yeah, exactly.
imperialistic political
Guy-
class.
I don't know. He was trying to
Let me
get.
close by echoing
He
the
was trying
wisdom
for the gotchas, and I
of
just
the
didn't
great
have time.
former Secretary of State
Yeah,
Daniel
like-
Webster, who said
so,
this.
yeah,
It
Martha
will be the
Bueno's here.
solemn duty of the
Bueno's
state
here.
government to
Hi,
protect
everyone.
their own authority over their own
How's it
militia and to interpose between their citizens and the arbitrary power of the federal government.
Hey. Hey there.
Folks, we've had our bill introduced now. in
I'm not sure. Somebody just
over
handed it
30
to me. It's
states
about
with legislative
we're about to
sponsors
enter a
in
nuclear
places like
war,
Arizona
and I thought
Idaho,
that was
Maryland,
worth.
Maine, New Hampshire, Florida, Texas. We got the guard on
So,
the
yeah, so
ballot
you-
this year under Proposition 6.
Can we get the background? Is that
It
what we're
received
hearing?
1.869
Yeah, it's a little-
million,
his mic's a little,
83% of the vote.
Your
Donald
mic is a
Trump got
little-
1.8 million and
Mine is
77%. This legislation is more powerful, more popular,
That's a little better.
more prevalent in Texas than Donald Trump.
Anyways, yeah,
This
you're-
I can't
movement
hear
has
you.
legs.
You can't hear me?
Or like it's an echo in the background, maybe?
I'll leave you with one thought. The inheritors of what our founding fathers
There you go.
left
Now I
for
can
us.
hear
Our
you.
founding fathers, first of all, believed that the states and the people were going to be the balance of a federal
Sort of.
this republic,
Sort
this
of.
experiment.
No, it's just
And I
it's
believe
delayed.
if the founding fathers were here
Yeah.
today, they'd be standing right here on the stage with us. They'd be right here
All right.
on this platform.
So anyways,
demanding that
you're
Congress
here
do
with
its
Lynn.
goddamn job.
Yes.
Did you guys like come together, or did you?
Today's
did.
politicians,
Nice.
today's political
Yeah.
elite.
So how are things
There's
going
some
on
good
that
ones.
front?
And
Is it
we've
just
been
all just
endorsed.
like we got to get
This
Trump
movement's
in
been
there?
supported and endorsed by
I think it's
Ron
going
Paul, by
fantastic.
Rand Paul,
We
by
have
Thomas Massie, by
Donald
Tulsi
Trump saying
Gabbard,
twice
by
that he'd
Robert
free
F.
Ross.
Kennedy
I think this is
Jr.,
the first
by
time
Vivek Ramaswamy, by
ever
Dave Smith,
that
Scott
every
Horton, and
major
Jimmy
political
Dore.
candidate has said,
All
except for
believe that Defend the
Kamala,
Guard
of
is the
course,
way
has said
forward.
that
So
they'd free
visit
Ross. So think it's going
defendtheguard.us.
amazing.
Please stand
That's
with
awesome.
us.
We're getting
Sign
there.
the petition.
Getting
Become
close.
enlisted in our movement.
Yeah,
Join
yeah.
us
Hopefully we
because
can get
voices
somebody in
and not
power
the
that can
Beltway
actually
will
that
stop
will
the war
actually do
machine.
something
Thank
about
you
it.
very much.
You know,
Yeah, we're gonna
I
have to
just
see how it
I
goes.
hate hearing how people think that like if Trump wins, everything's going to be great.
Yeah,
I hate that. No politician's
Thank
going
you
to
so much to Dan McKnight.
save us.
yeah. I mean,
Up next, we're going to hear from
you know,
Garland
I guess there's
Nixon,
certain things that he could do,
political
like
commentator,
free
radio talk
Ross,
show
right?
host.
But like,
Thank you.
yeah. Aside from that, it's like you can't rely on politicians to do anything because, I mean, number one, even if let's say he wanted to do a bunch of cool shit, he's still got all of Congress to deal with, he's still got all the lobbyists to deal with, you got APAC to deal with, like
the furthest left here on
you know,
stage to
there's only so
discuss
much you
that
can do.
And there's no, other than Chase,
because
there's
of the things
no
that I hear about political
anti-APAC
ideology. And I think what we have to
candidate.
understand now
Is
is
Chase
that the
anti-APAC?
traditional
I
concept
believe so.
of left and right and far left and
Do we
far
not know
right
if this is the
and center
case? I'm
and
pretty
who's
sure
who,
he's.
et
I
cetera,
mean,
have
they
to be
definitely haven't given him
reexamined.
any money.
Yeah, well, they
Hey,
haven't given me any
APAC.
money.
You
But
missed
neither has
somebody.
anybody else.
This
So.
stuff like this. I get people that text me and email. What are you doing
Alrighty.
with hanging out with
Let's
these
not do
far-right-wing,
that.
the crazies, the
All right,
Schiller
all right.
Institute
Let's
people,
not
the
dunk on our
libertarians,
own.
etc.
He's
Yeah.
still
And
our
my
own, right?
position is, so the people who don't want nuclear
What do you
war,
have to say, Alex?
the people that don't want to align with literal
I was part of the
Nazis,
NOTA 300.
the
So.
people who want a peaceful
I can
existence,
see
I think we would have been better off
with
this election
others in the
cycle,
world.
especially in the state of
they're the
Maryland.
crazies now.
For me as a
If
delegate
that
from
is the
was
case,
if we had
tag me as one of the crazy.
none of the above, and we probably had a better shot at maintaining
If
ballot
that's our
access.
society now, that the crazy
I just
people
look at it.
are
I
that the
just
ones
couldn't-
that want peace,
my whole
then
thing is,
the sane people are going in the wrong
It was terrible
direction.
during
But I
COVID, and
believe
that's why-
that there's
and
an
it's like in a
opportunity
lockdown
now
state of Maryland. That's why I was just
to
like,
go in a different direction.
Yeah, you
I believe
failed
that there
the
is an
test. You
opportunity
failed.
now for people
Like
to
the
move
biggest
away
test.
I mean, we
from,
could have endorsed
you're a
Trump, I
fascist, you're a
guess.
socialist, you're a
I mean,
communist,
listen,
whatever
there were no
name
good
we use to
Yeah,
call
there
people,
was. You're right.
to
You're
start
right.
examining
I mean, we could've-
politics
you're right.
through
We
the
could've done
outcome. What is
a
it
lot
we
worse.
ultimately
But
want?
the fact
We-
that that's like,
as far as I'm
this is
concerned, when they ask
our
me about
quote-unquote
libertarians,
best.
I say,
I mean,
well,
I guess I'm
agree
in
with
the
them either.
minority. Chase has been a friend for a long
If I
time.
believe
So
something, I should make my point. They should make their point, and
I'm
the
just
people
tired
should vote. And
'cause
whoever
I know
wins,
that we're not
if
going to
you
get
lose,
past
you say,
the
"Darn, I
4 or
lost,
5%,
but I'll
and
be back next time."
that's the point.
But
And
now
where is
we're
he? He's
dealing
not
with a
here.
ruling
This is the
elite that
anti-war
doesn't
rally. This is
believe
like the most
that
important
at
thing.
all.
This should be
They
number
are
one
literally
for
not
libertarians.
only
avoiding
at
World
war with
III.
the
Like,
world,
that should be number
but
one.
because they are at
Defend
war
the
with the
guard,
world, they're
working
at war
in your
with their
local
own
and in your
people.
state and
They're at war
communities
with
when we're
us.
just trying to get defend the guard passed.
I'm not. I
Just
think
trying
what
to
we
do
have to
things like that.
understand is,
So anyway, that's
don't
kind
get
of where
mad
my
at the
focus
victims.
is.
Here's what I mean.
Let's focus on more like community,
Rather than
local.
look at the
I
people
know.
who
Next
are
year-
wandering around,
This year, Maryland doesn't really
voicing
matter.
these
Anybody on the ballot's
absurd
national.
talking
We're not winning
points.
Congress. We're not winning Senate.
Rather
We're
than
all
get
trying to
angry
like
at them, I
the
think
party
we have to
itself in
understand that
Maryland.
they
We're just
can
kind of like, let's
gaslight
just take a
propaganda.
step back and let's
That
start
we have
building
to
in our
see
local
them,
communities and
that
start like
rather
building
not
at
as
the
our
grassroots
enemies,
level. So
not as
that's
But
kind of where
that's
I'm
the
at.
right
That's
attitude.
kind
people
of
who have been lied
I think
to.
that's kind of where I'm at as
Fortunate
far as
for
the
the
Libertarian
people-
Party.
fortunate
And
Right.
also
for the
just
people
getting back to
here.
the Mises
We
Caucus
don't have any
strategy.
trust for the
was
government in the first
local.
place, so
Run
it
local.
doesn't matter if they
Run
lie to
local.
us.
So
We're not
that's
going to
kinda
believe
like
anything
we're
they
setting
say.
up.
Forget about
We
running.
start off
We
from
need
a
to build our
position of,
communities.
well, we know they're
It's
lying.
the local
Why are they
communities that
lying?
matters.
What are
I
they
mean,
lying about?
this whole political
But
thing,
there
we're
are a
never
lot
going
of
to
people,
win.
unfortunately,
It's like
that
playing
don't
Monopoly
have that.
against
And
the
I think
bank. We're never
the
going to win.
important thing
Yeah.
to understand
So
is
yeah, just at the
not
local
to
level,
see
just building
anyone
your
as
communities.
enemies
Outbreed
except
the
the
left,
people
people. Start breeding.
who
Have
see us as
have
enemies,
freedom.
and that's the
Create,
ruling
you know,
elite. That's
homesteads.
Have freedom babies.
right now.
Have
and I
freedom
believe this,
babies. I
people
mean,
need
I
to
did my
study.
part. I have 4. Like,
Oh wow.
have,
Okay.
Who
have
say
kids.
we got a
Raise them
$35
right.
trillion
Yeah.
Get them off them seed oils.
deficit that's growing out of
Learn
control
to
that we
raise
don't
some
know, and there's no
chickens
way to
and some,
fix it.
you
And
know,
as
like do the
economists say,
thing.
unpayable
Yeah.
bills
Be a
will
That's
not
trad
get
wife,
paid.
trad
So
husband,
what are we
whatever.
going to do? I
Trad.
know I'll blow up the world
Right?
economy, start a war
Hey,
with China.
do what you gotta do, man. Do what
Destroy
you
the
gotta do.
What are we
oil
going to do?
infrastructure in
Bomb
the
the
Middle
government?
East.
We can't.
We
Like,
will
what are you going to do?
wipe out
No.
the world
Storm the
economy,
Capitol?
and then we don't have to pay
Yeah,
that
are we
bill.
going to the
We're gonna
Capitol?
what?
I believe that the issue of war and
I
economics
saw
is
the first
inextricably
version
linked.
of that, and I'm
And
not.
that's
Yeah,
it's
good.
important for
Good
us
luck,
to understand
gentlemen.
that.
Thank you.
You
I
saw it in
appreciate
person?
People argue
Were you
about
there?
the
No, no, I
Fed or
wasn't
what
there.
they're doing or the economics
No.
or whatever the
But
case
I've
may
seen
be.
my friends.
That we understand
I've seen what
that
happened
is
to
the
them.
driver of war
Oh,
for
yeah?
these people.
Yeah.
That's why they have this driver to war. But right now, as has been said in the past, what was said was this: any port in the storm. I'm sure you've heard that, meaning that hey,
There was a lot of
times
people in
are tough, we
Maryland
ought to kinda all
that would come
together.
to
But I
tabling
think
events
what
for the
we have
LP, and
now
they're
is
like, yeah,
far
the
bigger
FBI
than
came to
that.
my house because I
think
was
we have an
there, but not
opportunity
there.
for
I just
people
happened to
come
be there.
together.
Damn,
and
didn't they come to
understand
Jeffrey,
that we have
to Jeremy
common goals
Kaufman's house
and
too?
we have common
Crazy. That was,
threats.
he handled it like a boss.
And those
He did.
threats
He's
But,
so
uh,
good.
the
yeah, it was crazy.
unvaccinated
Like
guy
all
that lives
around,
next
like the
door.
in Maryland, like on
The threat is
95, there was
not your
billboards. Like
neighbor
if you
up
know
the street
anybody
who's
that
been
was
so
on Jan 6,
gaslit
here's
that
the
he thinks
FBI
that the
tip
Dick
line.
Cheney
We talked
Democrats
about it
are
when it
now
happened.
the
We're just
far
like,
left
what?
communist or whatever.
Couple billboards all around, like the
That-
DC
that-
area,
The
Virginia,
threat
Maryland,
is
with signs
the
like
belief
snitch on your
that your
and,
neighbor next
yeah,
door
there's
is
a lot
your
of
enemy.
people that I met.
That's the threat
Yeah,
to
so
you because as
we
long
learned-
as they can
Yeah.
keep us angry and
Don't-
Especially when like
violent,
Ray Epps and feds are
they're
goading
in
you
power,
into like
they're in
spot the
strict.
feds early on.
Some
and
people
don't
may not have
listen
heard
to
of
them.
this term.
You know what's cool about this
Bonapartism.
event? I don't see a whole
I
lot
don't
of
know if you
feds.
ever heard of that. Wherein
Not yet.
factions
Well,
Not
there's
yet.
no
ruling
Sarwark's
fight.
not here. I didn't see
And
him.
what do? They
There's
don't
a
have
lot of
enough
cops.
people to
Yeah,
fight
no
them.
Sarwark in sight.
So the factions of the ruling elite say
Is
we're
Sarwark
going to get
There are a
some
lot
of
of cops,
these
though, but-
masses to
Or there
join
were.
with us.
There were some hanging
And
out.
the other
I guess they kind of
factions say we'll
vacated.
get some of
I guess
these
they realized
masses
there's
to join with us.
not that many
And
people
then
here,
they
You know, they definitely
Not a
stick
lot
out
of
if they show up in their little
on behalf of
polos and
the
their little
nation.
khakis.
And I think
Right.
what we have to
Dude,
that guy
understand
that-
is when we look
How
at
about that
Europe,
shirtless
right?
dude? He's probably a fed.
We were told
Did you see that dude walking around?
Victor Orban was
He was
some
like talking
crazy
shit on. He
person,
came
and
over here,
he's a
started talking shit on
far-right-wing
Ross
lunatic. He must
before
be
we went
stopped.
live.
But then
Did
in
he?
Slovakia,
Yeah, it was like some
they
shirtless
elected
frat
a guy
bro,
named
you know,
Robert
typical
Fico,
DC kook.
who's an old-fashioned lefty, you know, from the legacy of
All right, let's get a
Soviet
pick.
communism. But both of those people agreed that I should look out
Babs,
for
go
the best
live so
interest
that we
of
get
my
another
country.
mic in the mix.
And next thing you know, there's bullets flying at Robert Fico. So
who's
what
talking right
they
now?
want us to do
I don't know
is
who's on
argue
stage.
over the so-called ideologies and ideological differences. They don't see that.
What's his name?
They see a threat. They see Robert Fico and
Who?
Viktor Orban through the
Garland
exact
Nixon.
same lens. They
Yeah, he
are
was, he
a
was there
threat
last year.
because they want sovereignty. They want nationalism is bad. Well, if in fact your idea of nationalism is my country is good, so I hate yours, that's a problem.
What's up?
But if your idea of nationalism is my country, I like my country, I
Where
like
did
my
I lose
culture,
Lynn
I'm
to?
proud of it, and we're going to make ours better, and you
What's up?
should make yours better too. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's what we saw. And I think so. What we
Can
have
you hear
to
the feed?
Yeah, you can hear the feed.
Okay,
is the
cool.
reality that we are one people in America. We have differences.
Yeah, we've
No, we
been
can
talking.
talk
about
Cultures, different
No, it's
beliefs,
fine. We can
different
talk about
religions, etc. But
I mean, if
in
people
order
want to watch the
for
feed,
us
they
to
can watch the feed.
survive, we've got to work together. And this weekend,
It's
All right,
annoying for sure.
All right, I'll remove the feed. Is it better now? Yeah. That's because his mic is like super hot. There's no way to fix it.
Yeah, this one is very hot.
Yeah.
You want me to come around? Here. Sure, I'll come over that way.
I can't hear your mic at all.
How about now? Testing one,
Yeah,
two.
now I can hear you. Yeah, now I can hear you.
So if we have our sound good,
Yeah.
now just take your headphones off and talk normally.
All right, let's do that. All right, cool.
Now I can hear you. You can hear me. But we're still using the mics.
Maybe next time we bring the mixer, because the mixer at least on. There's no delay between different devices and computers. Let's just see me. Another girl.
Yes, slide in as close as you're comfortable.
Because I'm a midget and I can't reach the microphone otherwise. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I am surprised that there aren't that many people here.
Yeah, it's kind of
Disappointing.
sad.
Does Martha have a camera?
We have a camera right there.
I'm
Okay.
there. Hi. Sort of backwards, but
Yeah, there
yeah,
you go.
I'm there.
There you go.
Hey,
Hey.
Under stage.
so did you come up from Miami just for this, or
Just to see you.
how things going on down there?
We just had a hurricane. I left in the middle of a hurricane.
Oh, that's
yeah.
right.
You
Wow.
guys get hit pretty hard.
No, we didn't get hit at all.
Oh, in Miami. you didn't.
No. No. Well, I mean, we got like the feeder bands and stuff.
It was more like what, Tallahassee, like upper.
Yeah.
You like,
I mean, all our politicians are in Tallahassee.
okay.
So it's like the weather
Miami's a
is-
totally different thing than Tallahassee. It's like a different part of the country. Like it's like that's like the redneck Riviera, right? Or
I like to call it the capital of Latin America. It's
Yeah.
completely different. Completely different to
I
everywhere
thought
else.
Miami as a city, like coming from like Philly and where I'm used to DC and New York and Baltimore and Boston and all these East Coast cities,
Yeah.
they're all basically garbage piles, right? They're like they're crumbling, they're full of garbage, they're like burned out, and but then like Miami, it's like wow, looks nice. Is that because like everybody's gay or like why do they keep it
I'm not
nice?
gay and I live in Miami.
But like
Well, it's all the coke money.
it's like good grooming.
It's all the coke money.
All the-
The 80s, dude. They made it
Oh,
real nice.
I thought I was like Koch brothers or cocaine.
Well, yeah, okay.
A little bit of this and a little bit of that.
But it really is a beautiful city. I mean, it's like noticeably different than the mid-Atlantic shit that we're used to.
Yeah.
The capital of Latin America, I'm telling you. It is.
It really is, right? It was a Spanish city.
It is. Although people are surprised that Cuban food isn't spicy. Because every time they're like, you don't like spicy food? No, why would I? Aren't you like Hispanics, Mexicans, and Peruvians? Whatever.
Yeah.
Well, is there more traditional Caribbean food in Cuba or similar to other islands? Like,
rice and beans and some type of. I mean, Jamaica also has.
But then you've got like the colonial type, like the Ropa Vieja, which I think is like kind of more Spanish, like the Spanish influence into Cuba.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit. We're mixed, right? We're
Yeah.
colonized all over indigenous, the Taino. flipping the script.
Yeah.
The people who came and murdered everybody there, let's celebrate them.
Yeah.
It is the nature. I mean, it's not like those, there were the Caribs and the other tribes. They'd colonize each other, and there was violence in between them, and people always move, and there's always somebody there before usually. And
But like once you leave, that's no longer your land, right? So like that's the way it goes, right? America belongs to Americans because we're here now. It doesn't belong to
they
anybody.
stole it fair and square.
They did the duty, but somehow that doesn't apply to other parts of the world.
Well, it applies to Palestinians. Like, sorry, you guys lost. You're out.
Now it's genocide time.
The other way around.
You stick around for genocide or beat it. Like what? Like, remember Trail of Tears? That's nothing.
Yeah.
Imagine Trail of Tears where they like force the Indians off of all their, out to the west, and then they're like, okay, now bomb them. That's what's going on in Palestine.
Did you hear there's like some that they won some lawsuit where like the Palestinian people get like $500 million or something, like, which is obviously that's why it's just gonna go back into like Netanyahu's pocket somehow.
To all the people or each Palestinian?
I don't. Yeah, like
For each child they blew up.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jeez,
Yeah.
I can't even. Like it's hard to even joke about this because it's just so horrible.
Yeah. That's why we're here. With all people.
we actually have more people on the live stream than we do in the live audience, and there's only 3 in the live stream. So,
Damn.
do we have any viewers in the live stream?
We've got 23 right now.
So that literally is more people that are actually here. Maybe you want to flip the camera around and show people.
It's pretty sad,
You want
actually.
to embarrass Tim like that?
I mean, we need to come to grips with what happened here. There's nobody here. It's a mega facility. I mean, you could put on a Van Halen concert here, and I've seen more people at like a Bitcoin meetup.
I've seen more people just out on the hill over there. We should be out there drawing people in. Like, hey, do you like war? No, you don't? Come on in. Come, join us. I mean, like, what the F? Seriously.
I heard this beer, and we've got some weed. So
Can we start it up? It's legal in DC, isn't it?
don't ask,
Don't ask, don't tell. Y'all aren't telling anyone, right? Okay, cool. Let's spark.
I just have a vape anyway. It's not even that offensive. Yeah, you can fire it up. Vape?
Oh, how cute!
What is that? A little bear?
Oh my
A
god!
little robot bear?
It's a bear!
You can choose right now to not participate in these wars, to not fund these wars with our tax dollars, to stand up as a people. And if we have gatherings like this and tomorrow,
Thank you, sir.
billions
That
of
is the
people
cutest
start
thing I've
doing
ever.
these moves like we've done in the past. We've seen it in the past. We've boycotted.
Babs come prepared with every style of weed. Hey, we're making our own rally over here. We don't care what happens out there.
Oh man, that is. Now I'm gonna be mega high.
All of a sudden,
Oh, I was muted. Yeah, there's no way to remember that I'm muted. But
That whole time?
just for let's last minute maybe.
I should be muted because I'm like
If you missed that,
having a
Babs,
CrossFit.
Babs gave Martha some weed. Now she's coughing.
I'm dying.
Yeah, this is,
We just shared the peace pipe at the war, at the rage against the war machine.
At least we're in the shade.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty freaking miserable out here under the
in
sun.
Baltimore, it's like still raining.
It's gonna be raining tomorrow. For
It's like, yeah, my wife was like, it's like still raining out here. How are you guys doing out there? I was like, it's like fucking sunny as shit.
Well,
It's like-
Congress uses HARP to make sure that it stays sunny right here. Yeah.
Seriously, dude, this is nuts.
I hope tomorrow's event is better than this. It will be because it's run by Republicans.
I guess that's when all the celebrities are coming.
Yeah, Brett Weinstein.
How come we don't have any celebrities on our show?
Dude, honestly, I don't want to talk too much shit, but I did go through the list. I was like, who are all these people?
Keith, like who are these libertarian losers?
I'm not
Yeah.
that deep anymore. Like, my only exposure to this shit is like our podcast anymore.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe they should have invited Chase Oliver.
Yeah.
I mean, in hindsight, we could have at least had the groomers in here.
Yeah.
Oh man, guys.
Hold on, Martha's a Chase stand, so
Oh, okay.
I am no. There's my political side, and then there's people that I've known for a long time that I like.
Yeah.
I've known him for a while, and I like him very much.
So you're saying he's not a groomer?
I'm saying that I have.
Or
no
he's just
idea-
your friends, even if he is a groomer?
No, I don't have any knowledge of him being an actual groomer.
That's what they said about like Epstein. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I just came from this P. Diddy party, but yeah.
I believe in people having evidence of things, and him having said that he wasn't in favor or against of something just isn't enough evidence.
He does have some questionable views about
Questionable
transing kids,
views
right?
is one thing.
Yeah.
Actually, being a groomer is another. And so, like, there's
That's
a line. Like, we can't be like, oh, we want people judged on, actual evidence, and then not do that.
I think when you advocate like the medical modification of children,
And I don't agree with them on that. However,
I gotta just say, you know what? I'm completely out.
Right.
Like
There's-
that's a total deal breaker. But that's like,
you and I had disagreements on things, and so I'm not going to cut you out because we don't agree on one thing. He's never had children. As a mother, I don't agree with him. And number one, and number two, I don't want him nowhere near my children for decision making. But I think we can agree on that. At the end of the day, none of us want the government involved.
but he kind of like, I don't know. I guess he doesn't want parents really to. It's a touchy situation, I guess. Like, but I guess he's approaching that like age of consent question, and no libertarian's ever going to win that debate. There's never. You're just not going to win it. You're either the proper kind of dad that's like, fuck that shit, right?
Or you can be an Arvin Gora. Is 12 really not old enough to consent?
In many cultures, it is. Like.
I've had 4 12-year-olds at one point.
I feel I have a general rule for guys that are really pondering this question. They're like, like, is she old enough? Is she not? Ask her dad. He will tell you.
No, this is somebody else.
OPAC?
You're on the camera. You're on live. You probably don't want me.
You're already incriminated.
We only
Glenn.
have like 23 viewers. Don't worry. 26.
This is what happens when you're a certain age. You just don't know where you walk in.
Our 23 online viewers is more than the local audience. 26.
26. 26. It has gone up.
All right.
We're killing it. I don't know who this is. Deepak, you said?
Yeah, Deepak. I don't know. I'm trying to
If it
read.
wasn't
this,
such a gigantic stage and everything, I wouldn't feel so bad. You know what I mean? Like,
I wonder how much this costs.
This is also for tomorrow, though, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's the same setup, so. Let's just say.
I don't know who this is. I've never met him before.
I don't know.
I've never heard
It's
his
cool if
music.
we have music this time, though.
Oh, they're gonna have Tatiana coming up in a little, and Jordan Page.
Yeah, Jordan Page. Well, Jordan Page was last year too, right?
I mean, who else are we gonna bring? Really,
He's
these
kinda
are
the
our
guy.
people.
Yeah.
You gotta bring your people
Gotta bring
singing our songs. I mean, what do you want up here? P Diddy? I want to draw an extra.
Yeah, let's get P. Diddy.
Let's get P Diddy up here. Like,
He's a soon to be a convict, right? Like that kind of.
I mean, he's gonna become part of our group, sort of, kind of, for the
wrong reasons. Yeah.
I
Unless
mean,
you think we'll get Epstein.
Of course. I mean, you think he's gonna and the politicians are gonna let this?
Yeah.
I mean, who is he trying to blackmail? Politicians.
Absolutely. Oh shit. Yeah. We'll see.
Okay, what do you think about the 1,000 bottles of baby oil?
Wow, that's intense. That's a lot.
Everybody needs baby oil, though, right?
I don't know about 1,000 bottles. No.
What do you think of the 1,000 bottles of baby oil? The 1,000 bottles. We're gonna need these guys. The 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Put these back on.
Yeah, I mean, did you see the meme where it's like him like sliding through the jail cell, just covered in like?
This is work.
Yeah.
This is actually work. Holy hell!
All right.
That's really loud.
Can we just turn it down? There's only like 30 people here, man. Like,
I mean, I'm excited to hear Tatiana, and I'm excited for Jordan Page.
yeah.
The Plandemic sounds interesting.
Hot style music, but you know, whatever.
What?
He's a victim of the DC parking authority now. Well, he's also like a volunteer media, whatever. He's like, yeah. He never hangs out, dude. Last time he was nowhere to be found. Not a loyal guy, you know. No, Otto's all right. Oh, Joe's in the chat. What up, Joe? Joe says, new fan here. Is this Russia Rally live? Yes, sir.
Yep, it is live.
Well, there's no Russian flags this time around.
There's no flags, period.
No flags.
There's nobody here. I mean, like 20 people. Pretty.
There's also no food trucks. Dude, hell yeah.
Or mojitos. You could have mojitos.
That's a lot
Should have brought it, dude. We should have brought it.
It'd be like here. I might as well talk. I could be muddling mint, right? And like,
Can you imagine?
We should have brought a grill.
Tailgating party.
Martha, did you meet Josie?
No.
Josie, come say hi to Martha.
He's like, I don't want to lose my job.
Guys.
Yeah. The right that God-born, God-given for free speech. Everyone now free speech. I know I am. We're up here right now to speak freely, and that's our right to do.
Don't speak too freely.
Oh, it's a nice breeze. Oh, thank God.
What up, Brandon? Coming in from Wisconsin. Go Pack, go. Not really, though.
I'm thinking maybe this should have just been one event. You know, like trying to do this 2 events where you have, okay, let's put the warmongers on one day and then everybody who's anti-war on the other day.
Carlos is here.
You could probably see her coming from space. Like there's her on the horizon.
Great Wall
I see her.
and her.
Alignment with our bodies, our spirits, our minds. So that's what
All right. I can hear it, yeah. That's cool.
This cannabis was strong.
Oh, shit. You like alkaline shit?
You know what? I went to Whole Foods and it's what they had, and it's fantastic.
Okay. Yeah, my wife likes that shit too. I don't know. It all tastes the same to me.
We're drinking it in plastic.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
You're already fucking yourself.
yeah. Like, I didn't think this was going to be like healthy or something. It's in plastic.
Yeah, you got to get them glass bottles.
Yeah, who's going to carry
Like
around the bottle?
$30 for a
Yeah.
bottle of water.
Also, like 20 pounds.
Yeah.
I don't need that.
Our power level is still 83%.
What's that?
I just checked our power level. We're only at 80. We're still at 83%.
All right.
So we can like turn up the volume.
All right. I mean, we've got what? Oh shit! Unplug the accessory using too much power.
We're broadcasting using the Starlink.
Amazing freedom events are happening.
Thank you to our favorite oligarch, Elon. That's okay. That's all right. It's so like you're out there in the sun. Here is the Punk Rock Libertarian podcast booth, which of course you're familiar with from last year.
Past guest.
Can I come around? I'll hand her off my prize.
All right. Thanks for joining us.
Guys.
Yeah.
Let's grab another chair too.
Oh, thank you.
There's room for everybody, unless you want to bail out.
It is so very hot.
Okay. Here's Alex. What's up, Alex? Come on up.
Alex is
Where's the
attentive.
Get on the mic.
Here, yeah, come over here.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. Yeah, somebody said like, oh, she's going to be here, and she's been involved with some kind of crazy shit. Like, what the hell's going on?
Okay, we were at a peace rally.
So
at a peace rally, I don't talk about controversy.
Okay.
All I'm for is peace.
Very good.
Oh yeah, I like that.
But this is punk rock libertarians, and like we're all here for peace too. But it's okay.
And we argue about a lot of things, and there is a lot of arguments going on right now. But here on this day, let's just be peaceful.
What's up with the attendance of this event? And then the thing with tomorrow and this, I'm just a little confused about what's going on. I'm trying to figure out, like, why is nobody here? Maybe all the celebrities are tomorrow. Is that I don't know.
I don't have anything positive to say about tomorrow, so I'm going to say nothing at all.
Well, okay.
I am disappointed in the attendance today. Not disappointed in the elders or disappointed in anyone who's here. I'm disappointed that there isn't more accountability of the average American.
Get as close to this as you can. Here, slide your chair. That's just the background noise. Thanks.
And I wish more people cared about that.
It does seem a little strange that, like, I mean, we kind of remember the stories about, like, the Cuban Missile Crisis, we were this close, and like, I'm pretty sure the Russian Navy's been in Cuba now for quite a while with plenty of weapons that can target the United States instantly. No chance of countermeasures or anything.
Yeah.
And like, but everyone's like, nah, we're good, don't worry. Like,
just keep anti-thing, keep encroaching.
What I've been thinking a lot about, and you guys might remember the name when I get older, so I forget, but there's some law that is like, if the universe is so big with so many livable planets, why aren't we finding life? And the theory is it either never evolves to intelligence, or any life that does
becomes communist and then dies. Right, becomes communist and then starves to death.
And I've been thinking about that law a lot. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, I was trying to think of it too. I've definitely heard of it. Yeah.
I think law. I think it's called the paradox. It's something paradox.
Oh, the Fermi. Yeah, the Fermi paradox.
Paradox. Why don't we see life teeming everywhere? So it has the three options: rare earth, that we are the only life in the universe; that 2, everything else is amoebas; or 3, when they turn not into amoebas, they kill themselves.
Or they see Earth and they're like, ooh, that's gay.
Yeah.
I think another one is sort of like,
they're like, ooh, they're still voting. Ooh, like they're waiting to people to evolve past their democracy stage
They go, nah,
to
fam.
make contact.
Nah, fam.
Right?
all past the government stage.
Yeah, no, they're still obeying. Still obeying. We can't risk this kind of dangerous ideas in our peaceful intergalactic empire, like our culture.
I want to laugh about obedience. Did you all know I'm a hardcore anarchist? I mean, you guys know that. Let's look at me.
I don't know.
Okay,
How do we make that clear? Okay.
Well, look at me. I followed all the rules.
Oh, you got a clear bag.
Clear bag.
What the hell? Are you freaking kidding me? Dude, I just drove my truck right in here, a whole truckload, and we just unloaded whatever the hell. I've got enough lithium battery here that could, like,
But it was an excuse to buy simple paint on it. But still,
Well, is there anything in there that Mossad could detonate?
not a thing. No pagers. No pagers. I have a phone charger.
Uh-oh, we're all at risk. I see your Chase Oliver materials.
And the leggings.
You got Chase Oliver leggings? Wait a minute, you got a whole outfit. Can you would you mind doing a little modeling?
These are some badass leggings. They are the great women will know.
I was going to say, they come in women's sizes?
Well, men are wearing leggings.
Well,
I mean, it is Chase.
I don't know your market, like.
Okay, listen. I don't care. But the leggings. It is that nice, breathable, because sometimes when you buy online, you feel like you
How'd you get funding for that?
Because he gifted it to me.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so I have the literature, and I've been putting it out on the table.
Now, was Chase invited to be a speaker at this event?
I don't know.
It just seems like it's kind of thing that, like, if the Libertarian Party is a big sponsor of this event, why wouldn't you put all your candidates up here?
Yeah.
I can't answer that question, so I can't say positively or negatively. He
Maybe
might have
because
had
they-
another engagement.
The
I
Waffle
wasn't-
House. Remember, he's at the Waffle House.
That's right. He has the big Waffle House thing.
Listen, I wish I was at the Waffle House right now. To be
Yeah, we
honest,
don't even have waffles. We do have gummies. Would you like a gummy?
You're not going to like turn me into Reckenwald, are you?
Yeah.
That's between you and your liver. You know, like,
No, is
You and
it
your
like
tolerance.
it's THC?
Yeah.
No, I don't. Believe it or not, I'm a terrible
Just
libertarian.
CBD.
you're under no obligation.
No, I live in Colorado, and I hate weed. So I'm like the worst libertarian in Colorado.
Do you hate weed or do you hate the weed smokers?
No, just weed.
Okay.
Oh, that's fine.
Oh, my God, so weed.
And you like them, but you don't like their weed.
I think I don't like the way it affects me.
Oh, for you. So it's not like a personal
Oh,
grudge.
no, right,
Okay.
right. Oh, listen. I think all drugs should be legalized.
Of course. Well, I mean, that's a given. We don't even have to say anything.
But okay, I'm going to tell you, I probably have in my house, probably not anymore, not after a few friends whose names I'm not going to mention, who everyone would know, visited. We tried, everyone, oh, you just didn't try, Bluebell surprise or whatever. I probably could have opened a weed store with all the different varieties we tried. And when I say we, my husband and I, and we hated them all. But whenever guests came over, we were like, there's the weed cabinet. And they were like,
Well, was it fresh? I mean, or
Yeah.
okay,
I just don't like its effects. I like.
Well, it's still it's good that you still think of it from a hospitality perspective.
Yeah.
You like the,
You know,
for drinking, like alcohol?
Yeah, I like a drink.
Yeah.
I like some cognac.
Yeah.
we all
Not too much.
Yeah.
Because I like
Within
to be
reason.
busy.
we
Yeah.
forgot to bring the blender, so I apologize for not having like a margarita for you. But we do have some beer.
I don't like beer.
Apologize, and then seltzer and water is available.
I want water. You got a water? Oh my
water.
God. I'm okay with microplastics. Holy
You
shit.
better be because they're everywhere. You don't have a choice.
That is, oh my God, I was dying. Thank you.
You don't have a choice.
Nectar of a God.
This is a full hospitality podcast.
See that? No, the vape. Push on its.
Press the nose. Yeah.
I'm gonna go down. Hey.
Hey,
Nice.
I'm gonna bring him on.
hey, whenever you need me to split, just let me know.
So I told him I'm
Okay.
bring him down if he wants to-
We're here just enjoying the show.
You want to interview him if you bring him down?
Yeah, later on.
It's so chillier here, like you're gonna have to throw me out.
Just relax and hang out.
Yeah, when you're ready to throw me out because it is
Yeah.
hot. It is hot out there.
It's pretty comfortable right here. We got a little bit of shade, there's a breeze.
I wish
Got
I had
the
my
fridge.
sunglasses.
Well, it's better now. When I first got here, because I got here when it started,
Yeah.
it was brutal.
At least it's not raining.
Like they got Clint Russell, but they couldn't get an actual like libertarian celebrity.
Maybe they had heard.
Isn't he like, what's the name of your show? Border Lockdown?
Liberty lock the border.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Liberty lock the borders down.
Oh, super.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
You know, it's hard to not sound crazy in like the 2-sentence description. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, a kid gets a website and gets double life plus 40. It sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? How could you even do that?
That's an old school shirt.
You know it.
I know that logo.
Okay.
That is the old one.
That's back when libertarians were libertarian.
That was when we were hardcore. Like that's when we had the platforms that like.
I got this shirt back around 1995, I think.
That's towards the end of the life cycle of that too, because they went to the one
What's up,
we
dude?
call the purple one, the circle one.
We kept it going.
Karen Ann.
Here, take my spot.
Karen Ann.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, how you doing? Yeah, when did they go to that circle one? But it was right in the late 90s.
Yeah, sit down. Yeah. There's more here. Why don't you sit down and I'll get out.
Put these on?
We're not.
All right. Morty, go ahead. Plug away, man. Morty's a sponsor. So.
Yeah, no, I decided to sponsor the event this year in honor of my new novel called War and Sex. It's a dark comedy about the War on Terror. And the best line about it from one of the reviewers is it's a thought-provoking use of hypersexuality to critique U.S. imperial violence. So I'm like, man, I wish I would have written that line. But yeah.
Cool. That's one. You don't hold it up to the camera's right there. Hold it up. Yeah. Incredible close-up. There it is. Yeah.
And my website is morty.org. So morty.org, and you can read all about the book there. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Cool, man.
What that reminds me of is, you remember when 24 was popular?
Yes, I do.
And everyone was calling that like torture porn.
Uh-huh.
You know, to just ramp up,
Yeah.
you know, people's, suspicion.
Well, you're definitely playing with that whole idea of bloodlust.
Yeah.
Of a hard-on for violence. So it's all
And there was
there.
a blog I used to every once in a while write at, but I wasn't the main writer, but I would comment at, called the Jack Bauer.
Oh yeah.
I have no idea. Oh, that show? Oh, hiya, that show. That show is such propaganda. That was like, there's a bomb, and we got 1 minute, or Al Qaeda will. It's such propaganda because that was the height when everybody was scared shitless.
Exactly.
Like, what propaganda?
And Keith Sutherland was so good in that role. But I was such a huge status.
Oh no, that's terrible. That's so terrible. It was like after 9/11, probably a couple of years. It was like early 2000s.
Well, the book
I didn't come on here until 2014.
So that makes sense. Yeah, it was post 9/11, eating into those fears.
Fan video, okay?
Oh
Like,
my
that's how
gosh, you were a
into it I was.
statist. You were deep into the statism.
But I did with a cool background.
I mean, granted, I was serving in the Air Force at the time, but at least I knew we were an empire, and I reluctantly joined.
I did the fan video to the background music of Bullet with a Name.
Oh wow!
It was a good video.
Yeah.
That is a badass song.
It is. The show, not so much. But
what years were you in the Air Force?
What's that?
What years were you in the Air Force?
I was in 2003 to 2011.
Okay.
But yeah, I knew the whole time. I was like, kind of compromising my principles.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I'm going in the Air Force. I'm not going in the Marines. It was early on into Afghanistan where I really thought, like, all right, we're going to be in and out and forget about it.
Interesting.
And then halfway through, it was after basic training. I'm in tech school. That's when we invaded Iraq. And I'm like, oh, shit. I was like, this isn't good. And even though I re-enlisted, I was an instructor, so I was kind of in the gear with the rear. But 08 and 2012, I was a Ron Paul. I was a Ron Paul coordinator. I was like, I'm a veteran, and I was meanwhile going door to door. And no, I was a maintainer.
When you're arguing the opposite, when you're arguing against war, when you're taking that position, it's definitely people, I think, respect, the most perspective of someone who's actually been in the military.
Yeah, and I've never been like I don't want to pull who's our vice president who has like been the candidate who's like the whole stolen valor. What's it?
Oh yeah. It's kind of funny. I call JD events stolen squalor.
But so tell us a little bit more about the book.
Talk about the timing, because it basically I won't give the whole story away, but I'll give you a little bit.
Give us a little glimpse. Yeah,
it basically follows the story of a real former Top Gun naval aviator, real gung ho, all American naval pilot who winds up washing out of that and winds up becoming a drone operator for the CIA. And in the process, he develops a very unusual form of PTSD, which is called post-traumatic sex disorder. And as you can imagine, that creates certain problems at the workplace. And so this kind of goes from there. And it definitely goes there, and it winds up in a very kind of phantasmagoric riff on the 2024 election. So it kind of covers all post 9/11 and kind of putting it all together. But yeah, so check it out at morty.org. War and Sex.
War and Sex. All right. Well, we're gonna listen in to Clint and Josie here. take a little break, hang out.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, Morty. Yeah, check out the book.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do some touristy things. Thank you so much for this water. This was a lifesaver.
All people listening to crystal clear. Anyone who walks past it here ever. So like it's way better than. I mean, I was. Huh? It's better than because everyone who walks down there, you can hear everything. Up there, you can hear everything all the way up there. The true valley is beyond. Yeah. I'm just saying, it's going on, and we just. So, but even on the it sounds like there's. But I told everyone. I know. Well, I know. That's because this bike is like really hot.
So how are we?
How you doing, sir? There's Alex.
All these from.
It's, I mean, it's sad to see what's
When you're like this section, like borrow and then like raise
what's happening.
Would you like years?
Because the state is too strong. The state's really. When you have $200 billion sent by the war in Ukraine, and people like to see what they'll do for $200 billion. So the stakes are way too high. The government is way too big. We have to strike the border.
What are they facing? When it comes to.
Currently, they moved the main event was today.
So, what's under attack by family, our nation, history, our borders, our pride, our truth. So, the.
So he was going to like
March. And I wish there was, because we've been sort of like after 60 years. The answer on education, so Paul always talks about.
There you go. So they just yes, they blocked off there, so you can come down here. Cool.
That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Again, the guys up there are like, yo, the boys over here telling us we have to move. I'm back, like, open it up. I was like, no. And I look over, it's two guys sitting on the wall, and they alone. They look like just straight pets. I have they have earpieces like mine. They look like they had a badge. They have Kennedy badge. I've been back here since this morning. I haven't seen one of these guys. Yeah. I haven't seen these guys at all. They're just sitting there. And as soon as you pointed at them, so he's like, as soon as I started to point at him, they walked away. And I was like, no, keep this closed, whatever.
Alex. I'm not ignoring you.
That's fine. Yeah. So then he goes over here, and they walk away. Yeah. They come back, and so as I come back from going to park my car, they go, man, no more breaks for you. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, hey, those two guys came back after you left and told me open this up. So you got to open it up now. So we're being told. So they let it open up, and apparently Russian people came down here and had to turn around, and it was causing incidents. And so then they contacted security, and security's like, no, there's these closed. I think it's like this, like total like Kennedy. Yeah. Yeah, like I've never. I was like. They had badges that said rage, but I glanced at it because I was like, they walked as soon as they like, yeah, they turned and walked away. I noticed they had a badge and they had an earpiece. They both had earpieces. I mean, I don't know. What are you doing?
Georgia, because Georgia passed a law saying, the country Georgia, because Georgia passed a law saying, hey, if your NGOs are funded by foreign governments, you have to claim it, just like we have the Foreign Agents Registration Act. And because they passed that law, through their duly elected parliament, the U.S. is not only putting leaders under sanctions, they're trying to do a color revolution, overthrow them. So it's this massive hypocrisy of the U.S. government overseas. You know, I was RFK would have said, hey, of course I support Israel, I support everything.
It makes no sense. I mean, were there like some?
No one takes any lights. Where did I hear that before?
I don't know. They're not so
Do you believe the federal government is
First I
necessary
saw
to
him, and as soon as this
censor
guy
you all
pointed
in
at
with
him,
the
he
10th
walked
Amendment?
away.
Do you believe that the federal government is
Yeah, maybe a
necessary
bit.
to
I want to see if
censor you
there's any
all
further
in
development.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
I'm gonna go check it out. I'll be back.
Follow the Constitution. It's really not that hard.
All right,
Yeah, there's 7
man,
articles. It's very
we're
easy
back.
to follow the Constitution.
Hope everybody's enjoying.
Are you
Away
unmuted?
for a minute. Are you unmuted?
Is that the way forward?
I'm unmuted, sir. So yeah, so
All right.
Otto is back. He's checking in on a situation here. There might be some feds amongst us. Obviously, we're in DC, so
Some fungus among us.
yeah, there was this frat
Some like
bro.
fed fucker.
Yeah, he was,
I just ignored him. I was like, okay, this guy's trying to just be an asshole.
yeah. I was like, dude, you're getting me a little fired up. But then I was like, you know what? I know what he's doing. I was like, this dude's just here to stir the pot.
I was gonna say, I mean, I should have said, hey, put on a fucking shirt, dude. Nobody wants to see your fucking
right?
man boobs.
Yeah, he thought he was ripped, but he really wasn't.
Nah,
yeah, so
like,
So Otto, there's reports here that there might be, because we're live here at the Washington Memorial, so there's a lot of tourists, there's a lot of people all around us, but there's apparently some individuals that may be causing chaos, maybe like feds.
yeah, there's some
Basically
there's some
discouraging
operators.
people from coming in here. So I don't know. Yeah, he's doing some recon. He's going to look into this a little more. Yeah, because I could see that because there's a lot of people. It's DC, so people are just touristy. They're going to hear a message that is completely different than the mainstream media. So if you were a Fed, why would you not try to like create disruption here and discourage people from coming in here?
I thought DPAC was pretty dope. Probably just described on
Oh, I missed that. I was probably zoned out. Violin solo.
And he had two other vocalists, and they were playing along with tracks and stuff.
Yo, your mic is muted, Eric.
Absolutely. Not as bad, not as extreme.
All right, E, you're back with us.
Oh, sorry. I was saying Deepak was dope. I subscribed. Thanks, Deepak. And I liked your violin solo and your music. I'm looking forward to that acoustic dude who they were doing the sound check. The acoustic guy and the girl. They're really good. They were like really good. He was like looping a little percussion.
Page.
What's his name?
Jordan Page.
Yeah, Jordan Page rules. What's the girl's name?
Tatiana Moroz. She's been on before.
Tatiana Moroz on Soundcheck. You were holding that guitar, so I want to hear you play it. Oh, there's a good question about Ross.
All right, let's listen to the.
Last year, there were so many people that it was totally normal, felt totally normal doing this. Now I almost feel like rude that I'm not paying attention because it's just like us and them, and they're like talking to us. Because you know what I mean? There's like so few people.
I want to see people stop dying.
I mean, I think they're discouraging people from coming in here.
They're actually saying this moment. I don't have a
Yeah, it's a big difference from last year, but still good.
It was 6 years ago he was
Still the right vibe of peace and freedom overall and end the wars.
Do you think that there is
Yeah, they have this area fenced in, so there's only like a couple spots where you can enter because it's kind of like a quadrant here. Not even, probably like an eighth of the lawn here sectioned out.
Really?
I'd say so. Well, maybe about what would you say? Because like the memorial goes all the way around that side, the obelisk here, the Freemason tower here right behind us. But yeah, they have this area fenced off around us by the stage.
So last year we were at Lincoln Memorial.
Yeah, so people were walking through a lot more.
Yeah, that had that cool pond. We were right by the pond.
Yeah, it was.
Now, is that like over there, or is that over there?
That's a good question.
I also want to know what the Cool Shapes building is. I'm gonna have to look all this up. And that amazingly big building. They're both pretty cool.
Yeah, we're in the District of Criminals. We're in the belly of the beast.
My headphones like aren't working anymore for some reason. Can't hear shit. Even my own like audio back. It's fucking weird.
You sound like my foster dog Sasha.
Oh,
she can't hear shit.
Damn.
Huh? If anyone wants to adopt a deaf dog up in Pennsylvania,
Southern border.
check out Hemlock Edge Rescue.
Mass deportation.
Yeah, get them rescue dogs, dude.
She's like a collie and Pyrenees. She'll be a good dog. We'll prefer a family that already has a dog so she can follow the dog because she's deaf. We're training her with hand signals.
Papers.
I mean, that's a tough question. You know, I mean, Dr. Paul was always saying, I did immigration for him.
Yo.
One of the
Yeah.
All right, that was Morty, author we had on. Check out
What's his book about? It's called War and Sex? Sex and War?
Yeah, it's hard to hear just because, but yeah, he said it's like some dark humor.
Is it a novel or?
It is, yep.
Okay, sweet.
But yeah, it's hard to hear. I didn't have my headphones, so.
You guys read novels?
Dude, I'm not much of a reader. There's a few books. I gotta be like completely on a beach away.
I'm with you, bro. I don't read novels. I'll read like books. Like I'm reading a book on yoga right now. But I'm such a slow reader. I'll read for like a day, not a whole day, but like I'll read on Monday a little bit or something, and then I won't read for 2 or 3 months or some shit and try to go back to the book.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just get away from it.
That happens to me a lot. I'll get a book started and then
I have a lot of unfinished books, even dope books like Eric Clapton's book and stuff. It's just like, I read some, but like it's still unfinished. Maybe I'll go back.
yeah, therein lies the problem. So yeah, so Josie and Clint just wrapped up.
What about tell me about Chase Oliver's campaign? And he's not necessarily, none of the campaigns are like really represented here.
No, that's pretty.
Karen Ann has some sick pants on that say that. Chase Oliver.
Yeah, we've come up a lot, but I mean, you figure if you're all about this anti-war movement, you'd be here as a libertarian presidential nominee. It's very sad that the very failed Chase Oliver campaign, they are broke, they have no money. Should have just nominated me. The losers would have got more than 3%. Yeah,
yes, dude, I love when you.
If he was, you figure he'd be here. Like, what the fuck?
I love when you do Trump. I love when you do him on the podcast. It's funny. You got a good one. Are you a fan of Shane Gillis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is pretty.
Oh yeah, unbelievable. And then, oh yeah, he's done it in costume.
All right.
He's hilarious.
All right.
He's also former president. Welcome, Aaron Day.
All right, let's listen to this for a minute.
Can you hear the stream?
Like the race.
Clint, Russell, and Jody. Next up, we've got a great speaker. We've got Aaron Day. He's a fellow at the Brown.
It's a bit delayed, though.
Institute. He's also a former presidential candidate. Welcome, Aaron Day.
God bless you, Jared. It's
just delayed.
In fact, with over 30 items banned here today, I'm surprised the national
Good afternoon, Washington. We stand here at the very monument of freedom, where we're allowed to say what we want, provided, of course, we don't have a flag, hand out a fire, or attempt to exercise those other constitutions and rights. In fact, with over 30 items banned here today, we're surprised the National Park Service isn't just cut to the chase and freedom is. But hey, we're here and we're still talking. And in a town where speech is restricted and war is unlimited, that's something of a victory. We gather today on the brink of disaster. The doomsday clock stands at 90 seconds to midnight, the closest we've ever been to annihilation since the height of the Cold War tensions in 1953. The ongoing conflicts push us closer to nuclear disaster. Entire cities lie in ruins, millions displaced, civilians killed. From Kiev to Moscow to Lebanon, the fighting rages on. The U.S. has poured billions into Ukraine while expanding NATO, profiting from the destruction with hundreds of thousands
survivors struggling atop smoldering
politicians downplay the risks. Even
and who is the real enemy?
Nuclear war.
It isn't America versus Russia or China. It
But
is
as
the
Eisenhower
versus
warned,
East.
you cannot have this
We
kind
face
of
the
war.
threat
There
of
just
global
aren't enough bulldozers to scrape the bodies
where a
off.
single digital currency and
So
social
I ask you, is this the world we wish to
end
leave our
free
children
will
with?
itself.
A world forever
This is
poisoned
a
by radiation, with
UN Agenda
survivors struggling
2030
atop the
celebrating
smoldering ashes of civilization.
We
Who
can't
is the
vote
real
our way
enemy?
out.
It isn't America versus Russia
It's
or
fact.
China. It isn't even
We
West
cannot
versus
vote our way
East.
out of this mess.
We face the threat of a global
Ma democracy is not going to save us.
where a single digital
No
currency
democracy.
and social credit system
DC is run
will
by
end
black
free will
males
itself.
and we don't control
This
the money.
isn't a theory.
In
UN Agenda 2030 is accelerating before our eyes.
Congress will
We
be
can't
most
vote our way out. We are just one presidential election away from not the start, but the fulfillment of Agenda. Do we think Congress will listen? DC is run by blackmail and money, and we don't control the money. In 2022, almost all incumbents won re-election. Congress will remain mostly the same. And if you think Trump will fix it, I've got a vaccine to sell you.
Jared, break down the report.
You know, and I know the winner of the 2024 election is going to be the same that it's been since
All right,
1948.
Ross?
The military-industrial complex and banks.
No, Russ Albrecht.
Trump
Have you
and
ever heard of
Harris
this
both propose increasing military
website where you could log and you can
We fund an
basically buy
endless war
just about
machine that only
anything?
benefits corporations like Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, and
Anyway,
Boeing.
the proprietor of
They
that
deploy their army of lobbyists to ensure the river of cash keeps flowing, no matter the human
two
cost.
consecutive years
All wars are bankers'
consecutive
wars.
life sentences
They always have been.
for running a website.
Banks have profited from war and suffering for centuries. From the
whatever.
Rothschilds and the Napoleonic War to the House of Morgan
Whereas,
funding
like,
both
people that
sides of World
rape
War I.
murders, they might not even.
During World War II, American banks financed both Nazi Germany and the Allies.
They'd already been in there
In
for like 10
Vietnam,
years.
our soldiers were killed by weapons funded by the same banks profiting from the conflict.
Which is an uphill battle.
This betrayal continues
Trump's
today.
saved us in
Banks
politics.
that fund terror and oppressive regimes grow rich from the West's endless war on terror. While they thrive, it's our families and friends who pay the price. Ukrainian reconstruction is their next cash cow. These banks don't just hurt us as a nation, they devastate us as individuals. They drain us with predatory practices, drive families into debt, and crush us with inflation. They silence anyone who dares to resist, shutting down businesses and livelihoods that don't fit their agenda. They're not just profiting from war, they're waging one against us.
Yeah, they didn't like.
To quote a banker from Citicorp, the only test we care about about is, can they pay their bills? They are not our friends, and they own both of the major parties in this country. How many here, show of hands, distrust big banks? We stand together, united not just by a common desire to stop the destruction of humanity, but by a deep burning distrust of the banks that fuel it. We're bound by the shared pain of watching our loved ones suffer while these institutions profit from chaos and misery. We don't just dislike them, we loathe them for the way they've torn apart our lives, our communities, and our future. Ron Paul has been warning us for years, and he was right. In End the Fed back in 2009, he urged us to wake up, but no one listened. Since then, our debt and money supply nearly tripled. His message was a lifeline, but we ignored it, and now we're paying the price. While global tyranny through the UN Agenda 2030 looms, ending the Fed by Congress is generations away.
Dude, that's what how many like positive conversations we had about Ross compared to that Fed instigator.
Well, we're kind of like the free Ross table.
Yeah.
We
have the PRL side. We're trying to sell T-shirts, but everybody got these free Ross and
Well, she's also giving away free
free Ross shirts. It's kind of hard to compete. It's like, would you like to buy this T-shirt for $20 or a free Ross
Early
T-shirt?
pioneers like Ross Ulbricht,
Yeah,
Ian
so
Freeman,
that's
and
good.
Roger Ver
It's
were crushed,
that's what's
raided,
most important right now.
for daring to
Free
dream
and Ross, get him out of there.
money.
Any positive could come out of this
My wife
election.
and I watched Ian get 8
Orange
years
Man
for
winning,
simply
that's
selling
one of them.
Bitcoin. And I
And
interviewed
avoiding
Roger
World War
weeks
III.
before his arrest in Spain. They're paying the price for
But yeah, a lot of good positive conversations with a lot of individuals that didn't know about the Ross story. It's probably like the fourth or fifth person that I've talked to.
weeks after publishing his book, a blatant attempt to silence him.
Yeah, not as many like crazy kooky people in it. A little disappointed.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you might have been trying to fix your headphones at the time, but the way they have us kind of segregated here and fenced off and only a few entrances, whereas last year it was just more people coming and going, tourists, and just people passing through. It's more
Just come over to the fucking collective pool.
yeah. I'm like, what's this about?
Yeah, it's weird.
We must stand
What
and
are you
demand
gonna do?
justice. The DOJ must drop its case against Roger. The White House must pardon Roger, free Roger, and free Ian.
There we go.
All right.
60 people tuning in. Share this stream, everybody. Go ahead, share away.
Share far and wide.
You don't want to be, if you're coming to make yourself for yourself, right? So you don't want to, the goal is to get in, which is kind of a specialized thing.
Oh shit, this guy has one of those backpacks.
You go in,
Yeah, we still got his backpack.
Yeah, what's that?
That was wild last year.
I know, right?
My message remains the same. You never had to vote for me. Just vote with your wallet.
Yeah, last year we were streaming. We just talked about it. This dude just left his bag behind us, or left it at our tent. We asked around, and nobody claimed it. And I thought, like, oh shit, it's about to go down. Hey, Scott.
Scotty.
You want to come on real quick, Scott? Yeah.
Unmute. You gotta unmute his mic.
Guess I'll stick around for a minute.
Yeah, Scott Spalding.
What up?
Maryland Defend the Guard coordinator. Thanks for stopping by.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, dude. Yeah, so it's Defend the Guard season. Pretty awesome. The LP adopted it in the plank. Yeah, man. What are you thinking this year?
Yeah, no, we're getting to work soon. I'm a little behind myself, but the big idea today is to try this year is we know who voted for it last year, who voted against it last year, and our big inroad is that a few of the people in the Veterans Caucus abstained, and I'm thinking there's a reason for that. Even it was more or less a party line vote, Republicans for, Democrats against, because they all not a big fan of the sponsor and they don't like this 11th hour stuff, but the big thing that was interesting is a lot of the Veterans Caucus abstained, so that's who we want to try to like work hard to try to get them see why I chose to maybe leave the door open.
Yeah, that's the thing. The more you do this, the more you learn, and I hope this is the year. Because how about the fact I just saw on Twitter today, the
also don't
Caucus
come back,
tweeted out,
there's
they got
something
these
else.
hurricanes in Tennessee.
We'll put a search party for you.
Meanwhile, their guards deployed.
Yeah,
hurricanes,
yeah.
like, flooding
I
parts of
mean,
Tennessee and North
come
Carolina.
on, that's like the perfect opening for us. And what perfect, like, just what the irony that the Tennessee National Guard tweets out, we're deploying a couple of 800 or a couple hundred soldiers today on the day that Tennessee just gets swamped, highway washed out, hospital underwater. Like, what perfect imagery for us to like
Never actually
drive
needed.
the point
Yeah.
home. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
It's just, it's almost as if they like plan that.
yeah. I mean,
it's just awful, the timing.
yeah, it's ridiculous. So, and then when the speech today, Dan McKnight. I mean, he's always great, but it more or less, he brought me a bunch of merch, like flyers and whatnot to hand out, and everyone was reaching out begging for him. I went through 50 of them on that, like that. So there's still a lot of people that don't know about it, which is the big thing. So the more, even people that are on our side are learning about it, which is still good because that means we can grow. We got a lot of room to grow.
Yeah, it's awesome. We've had some positive conversations with people coming by today too. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. This might be the year.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
All right, dude, thanks for stopping by.
Peace.
All right, Scott.
Yeah, take care. You do. All right.
It's up to we. Let them hear us.
Who's speaking now?
Ditch the dollar now.
Aaron Day,
Ditch,
I believe.
ditch the dollar now. I like that.
Aaron Day. Yeah, he's pretty basic. Ditch the dollar
Let
now.
them hear our voices in Kiev, Moscow, and Tel Aviv. Ditch the dollar now.
Ditch the dollar now.
Across the globe. Ditch the dollar.
Ditch the dollar now. Oh yeah. Wow, thanks for tuning in with us, all 64 people of you. It's very nice on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, what else would you be doing today on a Saturday?
Dave!
I don't know. Literally anything else.
Mowing the lawn.
Mowing the lawn, trimming the hedges.
Tagline is follow the money and
Domestic
it's
duties.
the truth.
Vacuuming.
Ian Carroll, everybody.
Oh, Ian Carroll. This is the deep dive.
Deep dive?
Yeah, I think so. Ian Carroll.
All right.
Maybe,
Hello, Washington. Hello, America.
yeah, he does some deep
Hello.
dives into conspiracy
60
theories.
years ago,
He does some
John
deep
F.
dives.
Kennedy famously said, I speak of peace because of the new face of war. At a time, nuclear weapons had revolutionized the face of warfare and changed it from a time of armies fighting armies on a battlefield that looked much like they had for millennia. And it had transformed
What's up, Dave?
Effective.
Say hi to the camera. Dave Benner, everybody.
Is it live?
Yeah, we're live. We're streaming live. You want to come around? Come on over here.
Today, have no idea how total this war is. Because the military-industrial complex.
What's going on?
What's up, Dave? Good to see you, man. Hop up to the mic. Dave Benner.
What is up?
Did you already speak?
No, I do. They said like 3:45, so it should be some time still.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
What's the topic, man? You want to give a little preview?
Sure. I'm going to talk about the destructive nature of war propaganda because that's what the regime requires as a prerequisite to its wars, right? They couldn't push this new Iran threat if they weren't ginning up propaganda about it. So I think it's really important that we stop wars from manifesting as such by opposing the war propaganda. So.
Oh yeah, man.
What's the best way to oppose it?
Counter it with truth, laugh in their face and counter it with truth. Never go defensive, never say, oh no, I'm not a CIA or I'm not a Putin agent or I don't defend Hamas. Never freaking back yourself into a corner like that. Be aggressive and expose the regime for what it is after laughing in their face.
Yes.
Yeah.
And cyberbully politicians.
That's all. Hey, you always have to add that to everything.
Yeah.
What's the fish hook on your shirt?
It's what I use to catch war criminals.
Okay.
There are a lot of them in this town. I need a way bigger hook for this town, let me tell you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, a lot of big game in these waters here in the swamp.
That's right, man. Yeah.
Man, good to see you, man. It's good to see a lot of people here. But we were talking about it. Like last year, there was a lot more passer throughs. Now it's kind of segregated and fenced off a bit.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's a joy to be here. What I love the most about this, man, is just that like we're uniting with dissidents on the left, dissidents on the right, dissident libertarians, and no one sacrifices one iota of their principles to do this. We're just united under a common cause, and it really actually kind of gives me hope that we can push political messages forward via single issue coalition instead of just left, right, Democrat, Republican politics as such. So I love that.
yeah, definitely. A lot of great conversations with people from all over. So I agree. This is the most important issue, avoiding World War III. I mean, that's crazy, man. Like I had a friend of the podcast, Olga Marie's been on, and yeah, man, like she has kids, and I hear this from other people too, and it's like, you know, they get that not your draft letter, but it's basically what do they call that? Where selective service. That's what it is. Selective service.
Yeah.
And freaking out like in this day and age, like, do you respond to them? Because to your point, Dave, people aren't buying the propaganda as much anymore, and the recruiters are going to overdrive. And if they want to continue these neocon and neo-lib wars, maintaining empire with voluntary recruiting, like they're not going to have the numbers and the people to do it. So that is a scary thought to think, like, do I want to sign up my kid for selective service if they might be instituting a draft pretty soon? Like, you got to consider that. So.
And you can tell how much they fear losing control of the information because Twitter has the most prominent regime politicians coming out and saying, like, up front, like, we want to censor speech on the internet. They fear the counter narratives toward their war propaganda. I think you're seeing it really clearly right now.
Definitely.
Absolutely, yeah. Not to mention just shutting down all this, all the Palestinian war protests and all the stuff going on college campuses, all that kind of shit. Where we're finally aligned on this issue where it's like, stop genocide, stop, war, all that. So.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. They throw everything they can into the mix to try to still divide us, the people that are against wars. It's been Taylor Swift and Haitian cats, and now, this new Iran threat they're drumming up. Like it's serious. It's serious stuff, man. And it works remarkably, like the culture war narrative that they divide us with. So this event's about overcoming it, and I love it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But it's a fucking beautiful day out here, man. It's like 80 degrees.
It's better than it actually was earlier. I feel like there's breeze at least now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a breeze now. Well, where we came from in Baltimore, it was like fucking pouring rain. And then as soon as we got to DC, it just like
Oh yeah. I drove through Tennessee, man. I could barely see during part of it. Helene, the after rain of Helene, if that's even a word after rain. But
the tropical.
Yeah, is it all right in your neck of the woods?
Yeah, I checked with my wife. We didn't lose power or anything, so that's good. But some people are suffering throughout the state and Florida, obviously. So hope everything goes as well as it can for those people.
What state are you from?
Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But peace for all people. Not just peace in our time, but peace in all time.
Yeah. Listen to Ian here for a minute. Oh, he just wrapped up. And Carol.
Dude, this setup's pretty badass. It's like an actual like concert stage.
Pretty epic.
Thank you, Ian. Up next, we're going to have Jordan Payne.
All right, Jordan Page. Going back to the Ron Paul days.
That's right. He's back, man.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you guys for your run. We're just going to set up real quick and Jordan's going to get it rocking.
Cool.
Yeah, where's the geoengineering people though, dude?
What's that?
Where's the geoengineering people?
Yeah, man.
Where the Russian?
Oh, they're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've talked to several of them. They're great. I mean, I love those people. I mean, it's just so ironic, like how you'd think that everyone on the left and right is so polarized, but events like this can prove otherwise. We won't agree on economics, but again, neither of us has to bend to the will of the other party to support something like this. So I've talked to some of them already. Yeah, I love those shirts.
Oh yeah.
And the Fed. Join the revolution. Yeah, that's Aaron Day. I don't know him too well. Have you guys ever talked to him before?
One. He's walking down the row here. Maybe we'll bring him on here a little bit later. You coming to the shindig tomorrow? Tuesday?
Yeah, I will. I'm gonna be a little bit more casual tomorrow. Probably it's gonna be packed, but yeah, I plan to come. Some of the speakers are interesting. I like some of those people. I don't support Trump, honestly, but
you don't support Trump. You don't support Trump.
It's going to be the best festivities ever.
It's going to be the best rally. Okay, it's going to be best. Huge crowd. Looking forward to it.
Well, you guys will be here?
Nah, but we might apparently.
So,
we're
one day in DC is enough.
We're the B-list. Apparently, like the A-list podcast is coming on tomorrow. This is reserved for them. Apparently, we're giving up our spot here to Dave Casey and Dan Smots. Apparently, and
Charlie Kirk has to give his up to you guys. I think that's the way it should really work.
Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Posted up here.
That is how it should work.
We should leave a couple PRL T-shirts, maybe some kind of guard literature, maybe some.
There you go.
Oh, dude, we have 69.
It might rain though tomorrow, but last time I checked, I think it was at like 20%, so maybe not. I think it's gotten a better prognostication on that as time goes.
That's good.
So,
yeah, I was worried about that for today.
Like, yeah.
All the laptops and gear we have out here.
A week ago, I looked at like the forecast, and it was like rain all the days adjacent to today.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh. So far, so good, man.
So yeah, I mean, this
Otto's
is crazy, honestly. What's that?
I saw Otto, man, your boy over there.
Yeah.
And he said, "Come on this over here and jump on." I didn't realize you just gotta, hey, come on over.
Yeah.
But it's fun. I always like talking to you guys. I like the show. I've been on the show a few times, and it's always fun. Yeah. I saw James Babbis here too, right?
Yeah, he's always bouncing around here. When we were like trying to go live, we're like, both Jared and I were like, Babs, ADD confirmed, like ADHD confirmed. So he's just bouncing all around.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's his,
he's here.
That's his marijuana in front of me.
Oh yeah. Do you want to get down on a gummy, Dave?
No,
you got to speak. You don't want to pull a record ball.
Yeah, I don't want
to. Don't pull a record.
It's too soon. It's only been a few months since May. This is way too soon. Way too soon. We tried that once. It won't be different this time.
Oh man.
I love it, dude.
We got 69 people tuning in.
Yeah.
All right, so here comes Jordan Page and Tatiana. We'll listen to the.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jordan Page. It's great to be here. I flew out from Spokane, Washington to be with you guys today. Been an anti-war voice, an anti-war activist for many, many years now. This is my very good friend, close friend, Tatiana Rose. She and I have been singing about ending wars and ending government corruption for as long as I can remember now. And so we're just stoked to be here with you guys today. Thanks to Rage Against the War.
All right. Dude, everybody's hanging out.
And we're back.
We're back.
Oh, yeah, this is like the popular table over here. Like
Yeah,
popular
everybody's
kids.
Yeah, we're the cool kids here at the rally.
Cool kids.
Everybody's hanging out down here.
Dude, it got even more sunny somehow, dude. Or I just got high and now my eyes are real sensitive.
Yeah, it was at 3:25 when the gummy kicked in.
I didn't even smoke a gummy. I just hit that vape, dude.
Oh.
And I'm just like feeling good. A vape of tobacco, of course. What's up, Doc?
Yeah, we're back. We're back. It's just a fellow Maryland libertarian heading out, hanging out.
Dude,
Right.
there's some cool
What did I miss?
kites out here.
Not much. We just came back on, so we're just hanging out, talking.
Look at that kite, dude.
Tuck it in
I
with
like that
everybody.
I like that yellow.
How's
one.
our audience size compared to the local audience?
80 people
We're up to
online.
80. About 10 times the live audience.
Yeah, basically.
It's a pretty righteous day out here. I mean, look at those gigantic speakers hanging from like rigging.
Yeah. That are completely unnecessary.
As if there's like people a mile away that are going
Well, I mean, I was saying if you are walking around,
you can hear it. It's actually more clear over there than it is here.
So, like, hey, however we can spread the propaganda, right?
But then if people try to say like, I wonder what that is, and try to get closer, they're turned away by the security over here.
You got to go in through that little entrance over by the fucking
Yeah, like cross this muddy field
Yeah,
or
go through the
like
porta potty.
Cross this minefield.
Go through the talk with Fed, get patted down.
these like black shirted like security people. There is like 10 of those for every attendee, right?
Yeah.
It's like they've prepared for thousands and thousands of people over here.
Like all this-
Porta pots across to the horizon.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like
If there's like as many porta potties here, it's like if they took all the porta potties here, just put it along the border, we'd probably build that wall.
I mean, it might have looked a little bit better if we were at the Lincoln Memorial again.
What's that?
If we were at the Lincoln Memorial again, it might have looked like a little better. Like as far as like how many people.
At least if you are wandering by, like my theory is like if they hadn't fenced it off,
Yeah.
like there's more people per square foot on that side of the
Yeah,
fence
yeah.
than there are on this side.
Like if you look over at the flaggetry over there's like 100 people probably over there. They
Right.
could be milling around in here.
We've actually created a negative like effect on the area, like people wise.
Right. Yeah. When I see a fence, I don't go towards the fence. I go like I don't want to be in a fence.
Hi. You're good.
No.
So,
we're- yeah. Ignore
what's
us.
Mises Caucus? Okay. Go ahead. Go for it.
Just say excuse me, sir.
And publishing the information source providing information of public interest. The conviction of the
Just grab it. It's fine.
directly in the face of the First Amendment in this country and opens up a perilous pathway for the DOJ to That's why we're pushing
Sort of listen to. Oh, you can't.
We're doing a live stream right now.
Oh, I'm so sorry. No. No, you're kidding, right?
Wait, what is your question about the Mises
I heard-
Caucus? He's not the guy. He's not the Mises guy.
I have nothing to, but I'll be happy to answer questions about Mises Caucus. What are your questions?
What are your questions? Dave Smith. Okay.
We're all David Smith. This is really
Well. Babs insists that Dave Smith is a communist. I would say Dave Smith has some good libertarian points on occasion.
I thought he always says that he is. What is it again? Mises? Oh, Mises.
Well, he's related to them. Yeah.
Oh, just related.
Yeah.
But I'm sure. No, I'm telling you. Okay. I didn't think that you were really doing this,
No,
but
it's all
anyway, you can like delete it, right?
Yeah, we can delete
Okay. So anyway, basically,
I mean, don't laugh or hate me. For my 10 years ago. Oh shit, that's my umbrella. Oh, never mind. You guys say F all the time.
You can't fucking cuss on this show. No, go ahead.
My question back in the day during the financial crisis was, if the America was going to go broke, why are people still buying bonds? So I asked my husband, and he didn't know the answer, so I'm online. Bonds. I mean, if we are going to go broke, what? Exactly. So I thought something's not right with a. So then I asked my husband. He didn't, he doesn't take me seriously. So I thought I'm going to have to do this on my own. So I considered to have zero risk. Exactly. No, I know that. I'm telling a story. He says he puts this, but then he's in. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No, I'm not done. I'm going to tell you the background so that you don't hate me. So when I went online, the first thing that I saw was MMT. I didn't know what MMT was. I know you don't like MMT. So then I see that. I said, please don't hate me. You're making fun already. So I am reading, and it took me like a whole year. And I never knew about you guys. And I finally understood what they were saying, like the lens. Not that I agree with their prescriptions, but
wait, hold on. We're not MMT advocates.
No, I know you're not. That's why I'm going to go. Yeah. Then I met up with this one guy who used to be a libertarian. I didn't meet up. It was on Twitter. And he kept on saying, I hate them and all that. I'm thinking, why do you hate them? I just need to understand them. But you guys never explain why you want to get rid of the Federal Reserve. Like, who do you want to take care of our money if you want to get rid of the Federal Reserve?
You don't need someone to take care of the money.
No, I mean, who's going to take care of the system, the payment systems?
The payment systems can take care of themselves.
Who would department? Treasury?
No department. It's the free market, right? Like,
so if I go to my bank and I write you a check, I give you the check, and then what happens?
Well, the banks have their own systems that they employ, right? Like they can have their own voluntarily constructed systems that they say, hey, do we have an agreement that you're going to honor my check? Yes. Okay. We're all the same. We can do business with you. Like there's businesses, ideally, businesses that interact with each other, right? Now the system we have right now, they're like pseudo government entities that they're basically government. I mean, they're government, at the very least, they're government backed.
Okay, so, right. I see that. So let's say these two guys were bankers, and you're a third banker, and you happen to be my bank because you live down the street from me, and I trust you.
Yeah.
But then when I give the check to this guy over here, these are his banks, and he'll say, well, we don't have an agreement with you, so we're not going to honor this lady's check. So now you're going to have to deal. But then,
we were crashing all kinds of things. We were going by mobile AT&T have a strong interest in making sure I can call you to be associated with so many like-minded people to share the same how people they're going to figure it out. Freedom. The idea is freedom of thought. Use it wisely. Freedom for our families. To them.
Thank you for.
It works both ways, right? Like it's in the interest of like this, conglomerate of banks to interact with yet another bank so they can get more of that money in their bank. Like, why wouldn't you? Now, if that other bank is shady, or it's like, oh, that bank's constantly having runs, that bank's constantly fucking up, then yeah, they're not going to do business with them, right? But under the system we have now, they're forced to.
Okay.
Right? So you can have, what was the one that went under, the one that was loaning out to all the big VC tech companies.
Silicon Bank?
Yeah, Silicon Bank. Yeah. Actually, the company I used to work for that laid me off because they ran out of money was because they had their money in that bank. That bank was federally insured.
Yeah, by San Francisco. No, but they bailed out everyone, including depositors. So I don't know what happened to you. They bailed out depositors. They bailed out everyone.
Right. So now it can happen again.
Sucks, but
now it can happen again. It can continue to happen because people know, like, well, worst case, we're just going to get bailed out. Doesn't matter what kind of fucked up shit we do.
Exactly. So my thinking is, and I know since I don't trust government anymore. It's the saddest thing because I used to. Now I'm a cynic. None of them I think are good. It is kind of no. Well,
because they
what? Oh shit!
Everyone here
That just destroyed her reality.
No, but which is the sad part of my realization is that I think cryptocurrency is the way to go. No. No, because Bitcoin now it's used for speculation. It's not used for commerce and trade. So that's the only.
And I'm proud to say I'm not running alone. My friend Diane Stair is
I
also
don't
running
because
for
then
Senate in New
the rich
York.
people will corner that market. So to me,
So we are not running
well,
for
to
the
me,
glory of it, because glory is not the prize.
This is a lot.
We
Can
are
you tell
not
him to
going
lower the
become
volume?
wealthy because wealth is not the prize. And we are
No, it's just me. I have multi. Wait.
Yeah.
You're not really doing the show. are
Hollywood
you?
right now. And
We
in
are
New York
not.
City, where I come from, the prize is freedom.
Oh,
We are
that's Jose
running for the
Vega.
prize of freedom.
Was it
The
Lou Vega?
freedom
Jose
to think
Vega.
for ourselves, the
Jose
freedom
Vega?
to do for ourselves, the freedom to build strong, beautiful, robust cities,
How does he
the
get
freedom
in
to
those
discover
cases?
new ways of thinking, of changing the world, of bringing wealth to the poor, of bringing water
But
to
how
the
does he
desert.
get in like AOC? He
We don't
all those
believe in
people.
government by artificial intelligence like Samantha Power does or Zelensky. We believe in government by real intelligence, the real intelligence of
calls
real
out
people.
politicians that go into
We
like
don't
an AOC
believe in
event,
phoning in
like
our freedom.
call her
We
out for
don't
being
believe
a
in
warmonger,
self-government by
supporting
smartphones.
genocide,
We believe in people being
bullshit vote.
accountable
Yeah.
to other people, not to
And,
I mean, I think we played that guy's
food is
videos
not
before,
grown
right?
on an app. Water is not purified on an
Yeah.
app. A smart robot is not going to walk into a burning World Trade Center to save you. That takes a person with a heart.
So close to
Is this
being.
That takes a person with a heart.
That mic's on.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that is the only way we can return our freedom to the United States. It's the only way to return freedom to Europe, and it is the
Well,
only
let me
way to
answer.
maintain freedom around the world. One Nelson Mandela is worth 1,000 tech-savvy consultants that think they know how to run a government.
Okay, you won. You're in.
I couldn't get on the freaking grass.
And it is good to remember
Well, this
that
is
all
how
of the
libertarian
history of humanity, there has been one person who has been right when everyone else has either not known what was right or has been completely wrong. When Einstein wrote his paper on special relativity, he was the only person in the world that knew that the universe didn't work the way everyone else thought. He was right, even though many people thought it was wrong. When Beethoven wrote his Ninth Symphony, even though he was
What kind do you
deaf,
have?
he was the first to have heard it before the rest of humanity could have heard it. And when Martin Luther King gave his speech at this small 61 years ago, he did not know at this time that everyone else would be wrong when he was right. Especially when he said the words that the choice is not between violence and non-violence. The choice is between non-violence and
But I only do CBD.
non-existence. And that
You have
is where we
THC,
find
I just
ourselves
do
today,
CBD.
friends. I ask all of us
No,
not to
you
just
only-
sit here
there's
and listen to
THC.
each other,
Right, it's
but
only
to
THC.
move and act and to get others to declare their
I'm only
independence.
CBD.
That you have already declared for yourself, because that is your responsibility. Freedom is the ability to make other people
I was with my
free. And
grandkids.
if you
I
believe
needed
that, you
to be-
must act
Okay, so
on
I
that
told
every
you
second
now,
of
you
your
just
life.
want.
So thank you all for
But
having
I
me
don't know.
here.
I have to get to that notion. So who do you want to print the money or create the money?
What are you
Banks?
talking
You know, like where would you want to borrow the money?
about? Well, I think let's just say that Bitcoin becomes something that's more usable. I mean, I think that like a free market
Thank you
is
so much to everybody
some
for
people
being
use
here.
Goldbacks as a private
Is also
currency.
our co-host
Years ago, we
Joe
used. Have you ever heard of
Welcome to the stage,
Northhead?
the chair and founder of the People's Party, and an essential person on the Kennedy
Well,
campaign.
this
Hey,
was maybe in the 90s. It was an organization that made private currency. And they had silver coins like 1 ounce silver rounds, and then they had warehouse receipts. And the warehouse receipts. If you had I can say you or these 1 ounce silver rounds that I could trade with.
When would you get that 1 ounce silver round?
I guess he was
tables from our own time.
So then it was pretty close to spot or whatever. And then
What if he likes you better than
He
you?
uses an excuse.
well, it was I guess anybody could do it. And the reserves were independently audited. And they were in a state.
Now being analyzed.
Independently audited, so you knew that like there was silver or gold representing these receipts.
Who needs to be targeted by the government?
Problem and everything was fine. He consulted the Treasury, consulted the Secret Service. Like, nothing illegal here, right? Like,
It was Dwight D. Eisenhower.
private currency,
And in the final
silver,
sentence, every bomb drop
barter
is
currency.
food that is
And then they decided that they literally called him a unique form of domestic
It's
terrorism
also, of course, used to
because his stated goal was, in fact, the Indian organization was like a national organization,
Syria, Libya, around the world.
something like that.
And it always
So this became
a new aspect of war.
right?
Because in the modern
When they got him for, believe it or not, they had this 1 ounce silver round. And they said, well, these look a little too much like
survivable as a human species.
they're both round and
But an
shiny.
intelligent species, civilization,
And somebody, instead of thinking, they might think this is worth 25 cents, instead it's an ounce of silver worth like $20 or $40, depending on the time period.
it gains the ability to
But they
destroy
thought
itself for
this
the
was
first
pretty
time.
flawed because you're going to take this
Charles Satan
$20
called it our technological adolescence. We've entered the period at which we can wipe ourselves out.
So they thought that too much, you're going to confuse people.
Or institutions.
So, like, somebody might think that's a quarter
Today,
and accidentally take a $40 silver
nuclear
coin.
weapons are being
You know,
joined by
instead of
the
25
advances of
cents.
technology by
Somebody
other
would do it,
intrinsically
right?
threatening
It's
weapons.
completely absurd. But that was literally
Working with Bobby Kennedy for the past
the
year as a
charge
senior
today,
advisor.
the FBI
That's
did
right.
like a multi-year undercover investigation. I mean, they went all out to go after Bernard von Oettingen.
The reason, one of the main reasons that I joined his campaign
But the good news of the story is
Right.
he was convicted of terrorism.
Okay.
Literally, they said this is a unique form of domestic terrorism, what you're doing, allowing people to barter with children. Okay?
qualitative thresholds.
It took a long time to sentence them. And I think like over a year went by, maybe a year and a half. Then he got out of jail for a short period of time.
And he was the only one who had the courage to speak about it.
Well, they used
To speak about so many things that others don't.
But then he didn't end up in jail.
house arrest is jail, but
That's for
it's
example, he went out. Of course, he was
surprisingly
inside.
I mean, it is.
compared to what they did with Russell, for instance.
He's still
We
there.
know that.
He's been in for over 10 years. And it's so super tragic and sad because he's super smart and really needs his like technological know-how to help us deal with like CBDCs and the oncoming, you know, like people used his. So he had a website where people could trade. And then some people would use it to sell drugs.
He owned the website. He didn't do it himself.
Right, he was not a drug dealer. People were convicted of drug dealing. That used to say they got like 5 years or something.
Before you were
Like,
even
the word drug dealer was out long ago.
How long
But
is it?
having a website, like, I mean, imagine if you were like running Craigslist and found out that you were using Craigslist, or like having. But this is the whole idea of utilizing the platform that people are
And another
using.
potentially threatening risk that I want to talk about that makes
No.
war must
But
make
I guess
war
he was making money on other
artificial
people's
intelligence.
like transactions.
So,
The leaders
you
in
know,
the field of
they call him a big
signed a letter
started to
saying
back up against him or
AI is on par
praise.
with nuclear
But
weapons,
he really
engineered
fought
viruses,
through
and existential threats.
authoritarian regimes in the
And it needs to
Bitcoin
be
was
taken
new.
that seriously.
Coming up at
Global
the
companies to be able to
and it was also a threat to prohibition because we are safely and using a marketplace to safely buy drugs. And you know, through raided vendors,
general intelligence as early as
set up
2027.
back alleys and you know tainted material, right? Like actually created an opportunity for a more safe marketplace.
Moving right along.
OpenAI developed ChatGPT
Do the
in 100 million users
that
working time. Only one of the people companies that's reading.
You would just need a allow to have legislation.
The founder, Sam Altman, has
Well, you know what? Here's the thing: Bitcoin doesn't care.
will eventually
Bitcoin
wipe us
doesn't
all out.
care what the laws are. If Bitcoin had to worry about what the laws were, I feel it would be the wrong technology. The whole idea is that Bitcoin doesn't care. They can screw around with the exit ramps and the on ramps, and they can manipulate price, and they can do a lot of things. They can criminalize its usage. But at the end of the day, they can't take your Bitcoin, and they can't censor a transaction.
The question that comes to my
However,
mind
they can make
is
it illegal. So right
Absolutely. Well, they make it illegal.
this brave new world, this 1904 that we're
It
seeing.
doesn't mean they won't try, but the whole idea is to have a technology that draws their attacks. It says,
Escapism, political theater, meaningless content.
when you pay
More connected than ever, yet more alienated and alone than ever.
Sure. Well, I don't know. I don't give tax advice, and I certainly
will
take the money
to be able to
destroy something that's taking care of
humanity is being euthanized.
We just imagine up there.
The drug is living
Make sure you think about how I lost my train of thought. The tyrannical bank is, right?
I don't like bankers. Seriously, you don't have to convince me with that.
They're in bed with the government.
They truly are. Yeah.
What we really need is something that can't be censored.
I thought we already did have something uncensorable. I thought Bitcoin was already uncensorable.
It remains uncensorable.
Right. So you already have that.
I know. But they can make it illegal, but it's still uncensorable. But they can make it very unpleasant.
Right. But but it's all at your own risk. But they want to be bailed out too.
What do you mean?
Meaning if you own so much Bitcoin and you have it housed, I don't know, where do you have it housed in an OK bank, right? Or in another bank.
If there hadn't been that tragic boating accident, it would have been on a hardware wallet.
No, you don't. I don't know that reference, by the way. Someone did die in a boating accident in Mexico, was it?
Well,
I don't understand.
The reference is when they do gun confiscation.
Okay.
At first, we just want to know where all the guns are.
Okay.
And then later they come back to confiscate. And you're like, oh, I lost my gun in a boating accident.
Thank you.
Okay. So the one thing I got from our short brief talk is that by getting rid of the Fed, you want it more private, back in just like between bankers, like this type of thing.
Let people figure it out. Hey, they want the Fed, great. I feel like, you know what, if there's people that want to do that stuff, I'm yourself out.
But the people that are saying and the Fed, they don't say, and what do you want done? And I've been like searching, what do they want done? If they want to, is that the official? Is that the official?
Where you kind of ignore the Fed, okay? Where you and I start trading in Bitcoin, and we develop a Bitcoin economy, a circular Bitcoin economy, where we're getting paid in Bitcoin, we're paying in Bitcoin, we're saving in Bitcoin, we're investing in Bitcoin, we're getting
Don't
paid
say
interest
investing.
in Bitcoin. So,
don't do that.
all right, but let's just imagine that we have a choice of doing these things,
Okay.
okay? And right now it's not popular, but you technically could do any of these things
Yeah.
to a certain degree. But say it became popular, right?
Okay.
Why? Because maybe the alternative became more tyrannical.
Yes.
Such as in Canada when they shut down people's bank
Yes,
accounts.
the truckers. It's
There
terrible.
may be more situations during the next COVID style
I think you
lockdown.
just triggered me because we had a big fight in my family. Because half of us saying, "Good for them," and thinking, seriously?
But just imagine a war, a lockdown, something where the currency.
Imagine we lived
The
it
currency is no longer available to you, right?
because there's no electricity.
No,
What?
because they are dealing with some emergency. We got civil unrest. We're going on the market.
That's why I know where all the Mormons live because they get all the food.
Terrorist cyber attack from Russia. We don't,
Russia, well, they're our friends. Come
It
on.
could be anything.
Okay. Yeah. Now you're making me stressed out. Where's my CBD? Good.
But let's just say, under one of these circumstances, it becomes more important to have an, and then be like, I don't really like that. What's the alternative? Well, we're using Bitcoin over here. Why don't you just come over? You want to be part of our team?
They turn up the switch.
If they want to have this control grid and CBDCs and surveillance and control, and vaccination, censorship, what have you.
I don't get it.
We have a petition you can sign with the QR code. There's here.
See, that's not explained either. We're the same. It's really simple.
Check the website. We're giving out T-shirts over here too.
Basically, he started with a free market website and been a role like for 40 years for basically a non-violent crime of operating a website that other people use to sell drugs. That's one of the 1 second version.
Do you think he is? That's a tough one. But everyone's so against him. It's the saddest thing, isn't it?
Tatiana has
It's
Okay,
all
so
right
are we
now.
done? Did he finish?
He's screaming.
No.
You guys are letting me on a hot mic? That's a madness.
I mean, you have me with. But who's
No,
your
Mike Scott,
candidate?
U.S.
then?
Senate nominee, Democratic People's Republic of
Oh, I
Maryland. Vote Libertarian, y'all. We're talking about, and come down and see us. We really need this place packed because
I want Kennedy in.
they had a list
I want
online.
Kennedy in.
That's tomorrow.
I mean, we can have all these speeches, but if you don't put a head in there.
Because anybody who wants to vote Trump is in the minority and they don't pay attention. This is Rage Against the Machine.
I mean, if you're all in
I'm sure if somebody asked me which of those guys would be better, of course. I'm not.
It's all good. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
I don't pick.
Bring others.
Pick
but why are you here? So are you doing a podcast? I'm so sorry. I did not mean to interrupt. I don't read.
All right, thanks, guys.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a picture. Sorry, I really thought you were just.
We were free.
We are just like a bunch of shit walkers.
In dreams. That's my email address actually. Are you okay?
That's not
Yeah. I noticed that too. Talking about security here.
Check out these guys.
Yeah.
Well, welcome.
I welcome you, yes.
All right, we're back. Jared, how you doing, man? How you feeling? Got some.
All right, we're good. We're back. We're back. We're back.
How's everybody hanging in there? Oh man, look, 88 people tuning in.
88.
3 more people than that's actually here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean it's a nice day out. A little hot, but you know, if you're walking around, it's kind of nice. Right by the giant America dick over here. Just reaches into the sky.
Towers above us.
Can you go inside that thing, or is it like just a thing?
I think you can. Do you want to go in it today?
I want to go in the
memorial.
Yeah,
we're going in
the memorial.
We're going into that Masonic Lodge thing. Yep.
Yeah. How many flags are around there?
Yeah, a lot of flaggetry around there. Probably. That makes sense, right?
So thank you all for coming out. Thank you to Rage Against the War Machine. This is Jordan Page. My name's Tatiana Moroz.
All right, Tatiana and Jordan just wrapping up.
Yeah. Who's coming up next? How much longer is this thing? Another
That's a
hour,
really
right?
good question. I have no idea.
Well, it's 4:00 right now, so.
Yeah, if you still haven't come down, if you're listening, you're in the neighborhood, swing by, stop by.
Oh, hang out. Stop by the PRL tent.
Buy a T-shirt. You could buy one of our T-shirts, or you could get a free Ross T-shirt. Literally a free Ross T-shirt.
Yeah,
kind of a good deal.
You can talk to
Friend of the
some
show,
communists
Dave
out here.
Benner, about to come on here.
He's also a contributor to the Mises Institute. Let's welcome Dave
All right.
Benner. Thank
Let's
you.
turn it over to friend of the podcast, Dave Benner here. Let's listen in on Dave.
War is the health of the state. Randolph Bourne's first
stage, one of the most courageous and
What's up, Otto?
powerful anti-war voices. He knows how to attack the right from the right.
Who we got coming up?
Dan McAdams,
Dan
director
McAdams.
of the Ron Paul Institute.
All right, Dan, let's go. Yeah, we're live. Yeah, we're live.
and live
This dude's
streaming on Rumble.
based, by the way.
For those that don't know where to find us on Rumble, these two men have stepped up.
What's up, Pat? Welcome here. Let me unmute you over here. Pat Ford is joining us.
Pushing forward the truth, whatever the cost.
Hey, how are you? Good. Tell us where what organization you're from.
What's it now?
What organization are you from?
Well, folks probably know me as the Region 6 representative for the Libertarian National Committee. I'm the vice chair of the Libertarian Party of Rhode Island. But here today, I'm representing something called LibertarianMutualAid.org, which is my mutual aid organization geared towards, well, to be blunt, ending the industrial poverty industry here in the United States. I want to get government out of charity, but recognizing that there's a lot of folks who need help, who want to replace it by taking human action and replacing it with volunteerism from libertarians around the country.
Hell yeah. Sounds good, Pat. Yeah, and your next door neighbor here hanging out. You got free Ross shirts, right?
We got free Ross shirts. We got free Ross bumper stickers. We got free Ross, a lot of love. You know, Ross's mother was here earlier today. She's an amazing force of nature, managing to take on virtually everything that the federal government could throw at her over the last dozen plus years. Watching her son, you know, listen, I'm a little older. Yeah, I'm one of the boomers on the LNC.
Yeah, it's been a long day. We've been out in the sun.
Yeah, it's what's happened to Ross Ulbricht is symptomatic of everything wrong with America right now.
Yeah.
Put up for 11 years in a double life sentence in a hard time for a financial quote-unquote crime. It wasn't a financial crime. It was an exercise of his personal freedom, his personal self-determination. And to incarcerate for something like that is just, it's disgusting. It makes me.
No, it really is, and it's pretty awesome today. How many people came up to you today that were hearing about this story for the first time?
Well, I easily over 100. And in one hand, as a libertarian who's been, you know, I interviewed Lynn a few years ago. That people are still having to find out about it. It's frustrating because this shouldn't be a new story. It's an American tragedy. But at the same time, we're glad to tell the story, and we've got some convincing literature out here. Links to website. Wait, we got royalty here.
No. But I mean, we want to get all the sponsors to plug for a little bit. Okay. So we want to get all the sponsors plugging. So we got Eric Brakey here with the Free State Project.
Yeah, Eric Brakey, by the way, is much more than just a Free State Project. Eric was a very successful legislator in Maine, and is one of the people responsible for the Libertarian Party of Maine getting permanent ballot access.
That's awesome.
Without his, without his yeoman-like work, without his political skills, we wouldn't be able to negotiate downward from a 10,000 registration requirement in Maine down to a 5,000 registration requirement, which gave us a chance, and through the work of the Libertarian Party of Maine, actually made it happen. So when you talk about actually engaging, getting off the keyboard, and creating effective change, Eric Brakey brought the libertarian movement to a new level.
Bring Eric in real quick. Yeah. Eric, welcome. Yeah, just throw them on. Step on up. Let me.
Someone who was the opposition leader in Israel.
You're good. Eric Brakey's here, former senator from Maine.
Well, I'm technically still state senator from Maine for a few more months.
Okay. How's your lame duck session going?
Nothing really happening. I mean, it's mostly right now it's a title with health insurance. Although I do have to go in in like a week to vote on some judges that are being confirmed. But there's basically nothing happening. Just wait for the elections as I transition over to New Hampshire. And though I've had some fun in recent weeks, I've suggested that the 2nd District of Maine should break away and join New Hampshire, and that's gotten some front page news in Maine and some screeching liberals.
Oh, no. So that would be like what, probably north, like the rural parts of Maine?
Yeah, it's like 90% of the landmass of Maine, right? Because the population centers are like down south
Coastal.
and coastal, and that's where like a lot of the like left-wing out-of-staters have moved in, and but since population centers are there, it's maybe only 10% of the state geographically, but they dominate state politics. And
It's like culturally, the unrepresented areas are more like your.
Yeah, and so I've been watching what's going on in Oregon right now. They've got this thing happening called the Greater Idaho Movement, where Eastern Oregon is trying to break away and join Idaho because they can't get political representation and the kind of government they want to live under their state government as the lines are currently drawn. And they find that they're much more culturally and politically aligned with the people of Idaho. And so 13 counties in Oregon have voted that they want to break away and join Idaho. And the Idaho legislature has said, this is great, you're more than welcome. And it's just the Democrats in charge of the state of Oregon who won't release their hostages.
Yeah. That's the future. I think that's where we're going to go. I think we're going to see a lot of nullification, decentralization at the local level. People kind of get, and what you're doing up in New Hampshire is awesome. How's that going? A lot more people moving? What's the latest
Yeah, there's
update?
new people moving all the time. There's nothing I love more than when a new mover arrives and we go out and greet them and help them unpack their U-Haul and move them into their new home. That's always like, those are the best days, knowing that more and more people are coming to the libertarian homeland we're building, the Granite Point in New Hampshire. And it's hard to kind of leave behind my constituents and the people that I really, love in Maine. But I hope that in the long run, what we're building in New Hampshire is something that's going to benefit all who love liberty and want to be free. And if the 2nd District of Maine breaks away and joins New Hampshire, then most of the people will get to experience that freedom pretty quickly.
Greater New Hampshire?
I don't know what we call it. We could call it the Greater New Hampshire Movement, but I do wonder a little bit, like, man, people in Maine, we have such pride about like that Maine identity. I don't know if people in Oregon have that same level of pride about Oregon identity where they'll give it up and call themselves the Greater Idaho Movement. So I'm not sure Greater New Hampshire is the best branding, but I don't know. We'll see as we keep talking about it.
Now, I want to say you may not be aware of this. I think tangentially you are, but you have actually changed the face of New England politics in ways you may not be aware of. The state of Rhode Island is taking the same approach that you and Harrison Kemp took in the state of Maine. We have legislation up right now which would radically reform the ballot formation process in Rhode Island. It's been endorsed by the Rhode Island Secretary of State. Our sponsor is the Democratic chair of the Elections Commission for the Rhode Island State Legislature. And again, following your model, where we're creating a minor party system, or we're adjusting downward the requirements necessary to become a party, we've got a real chance this year to establish major political reform in the state of Rhode Island. And I wanted to thank you for your work in Maine, because I know everyone's focusing on New Hampshire, but you have quite a legacy in Maine, and you have changed the face of electoral politics. And congratulations! I know you've got a lot more to do, a lot more that you want to focus on, but it's real. And I think it's time for the Libertarian Party nationally and third parties at large to walk away from the litigation model. It spends a lot of time, a lot of money, and has largely been fruitless because who controls our state courts? Well, it's political appointees by the duopoly. Going through, if you will, the legislative model, you can then collaborate with different groups. You can focus on the issue. You can message more effectively. You can create political pressure. There's a lot of progress there. I want to thank you for that.
Well, I appreciate it. And it's nice to hear. I hadn't heard that about Rhode Island. And I do want to give credit to Harrison Kemp. I think Harrison Kemp did most of the work that he brought the bill to me. I was happy to sponsor it and speak on it and try to. It did help that it went through the Veterans and Legal Affairs Committee, which I went to the House Republican leader, who's a Ron Paul guy, Representative Billy Bob Falkingham, and I told him, make sure to put stacked Liberty Republicans on this committee because we're bringing forward Defend the Guard to that committee that year. So it helped. We had a very sympathetic kind of folks on the committee for a number of reasons. But it's nice to hear, and I'm proud of the legacy I'm leaving behind in Maine. I hope that the work I've done inspires a lot of others to continue on carrying the torch in different ways. And looking forward to the next chapter we're writing in New Hampshire.
Now, the next step that we've done in Rhode Island is defend the guard. We've had legislative hearings in the House. It was a joint appearance by a representative from the Libertarian Party of Massachusetts, Brian Z, and myself. And it was our second chance at this. This time we were prepared. And interestingly enough, the Adjutant General of the Rhode Island National Guard was so worried about the legislation, he showed up and testified against us, if you will. We kicked butt.
Yeah.
And we focused on the issue. We focused on the human rights issue. And what was fascinating is 2 weeks later, I'm running into state representatives who were at the hearing, who are progressive in nature, coming up to me and wondering why the general, who's largely well regarded, was more concerned about the financial aspect of the National Guard as opposed to this, if you will, the safety of his men and women who are serving.
Yeah, this is happening in every single state. It is usually some 4-star from the Pentagon plus the Adjutant General, and maybe a few other kind of folks who they kind of bring in to argue the case against it. And I think they mostly rely on the prestige of their,
Right.
the stars and the awards, that the decorations they have on their chest to try to intimidate people into voting against it. But at the end of the day, right, the arguments that you bring up that they're raising are the same thing that we're hearing everywhere else, which is for them, the arguments against it are always about money, and it's always about what Washington, D.C. threatens to cut off the money. And right, this is the problem for so much, not beyond just kind of our National Guard and how they're being abused, but for so much is the system where Washington, D.C. steals our money and ransoms it back to us with strings attached to get the states to do the unconstitutional policies that Washington, D.C. wants to enact but cannot do without the complicity of the states. And so this is what we absolutely need to push back against. But what I think is interesting in this debate on Defend the Guard is that this is their fallback position. This is the only argument they have left. Maybe 10 years ago, they would have been arguing like, look, we're over there defending freedom. We're over there, making the world safe for democracy. And we have to be over in Iraq and Afghanistan and Syria and all of these places. And they don't dare make those arguments anymore because nobody believes them. The only thing they have to say is money. And I remember when we were doing this bill in Maine in the Veterans and Legal Affairs Committee, my good friend who sadly passed away this past year, but he was a retired sergeant from the Maine Army National Guard that did 2 tours in Iraq and was involved in a roadside bomb incident where one of his good friends did not make it home alive. And I remember him walking away from that hearing, having heard our Adjutant General talk about money and just saying, like, I wish that he would look my buddy's mom in the face and tell her that her son's death was worth it over in Iraq because the state got a few more Humvees out of the deal. Like, we would never accept an argument about money over any other issue. I mean, if someone was pro-life, would they and the federal government said, okay, we're going to pay you $1 million for a baby that's murdered, are they going to say, well, I guess there's money involved now, so it's okay, right? Regardless how people feel about that, like, there are certain things that are moral issues that need to trump questions of money. And there's no price tag you can put on the lives of our soldiers in wars that Congress didn't care enough to properly declare that makes it acceptable.
I think one of the most challenging T-shirts I've seen recently is the one that says, to the effect, "Can I at least choose the oil company that I'm going to die for?" And what's important for the liberty movement at large, beyond the critical aspect of this issue, it also is a wake-up call for a lot of folks who would conflate us, well, with something else, who don't understand that the liberty movement is all about the sanctity of human life and the ability for human beings to essentially harness their own future and not be just pawns in some useless, fraudulent police action taken someplace for the benefit of someone's stock price. The progressives were wide-eyed as we sat in defense of human life. They were wide. They had one representative came up to me and said they had no idea that we felt that strongly about not just liberty, but the sanctity of life and how anti-war we truly are.
Yeah.
So it's a defining moment for the liberty movement at large, and in that lies an opportunity for us, quite frankly, to humanize ourselves and to display to people what we truly believe, not the narrative that the media wants to portray for us.
You know, several years ago, I think maybe it was like 2020, 2021. I remember talking with Dan McKnight, who now leads the Bring Our Troops Home organization that's coordinating the Defend the Guard effort around the country and the states. And this was still kind of a new idea, or at least it wasn't Defend the Guard wasn't as prominent an issue as it's become today, where it's being put forward in all these different state legislatures. And I just told him, and I think I was right. I said, this is the next constitutional carry issue. This is the next issue where people tell you this is never going to happen. You're not going to be able to make it happen until you start breaking through in a few states, and then it's going to be exponential. We look at constitutional carry as an issue, like in the early 2000s, and there was like Vermont, Alaska, then like the first term of Obama, it doubled. You got like 5 states, and then you got next 4 years 8 states, then 16 states, now 32 states. Like it's gone exponential because a few states lead, and we see that the world hasn't ended, the sky hasn't fallen, and other states come on board. So that's why it's so crucial that states like New Hampshire and Arizona and Idaho are leading the charge and actually getting this passed in state legislative bodies. I'm looking forward to the first state that's going to actually call the bluff of the federal government and sign it into law.
Yeah, that'll be base if that happens. But yeah, let's wrap it up. Pat, give a shout out. Tell us how to follow.
Sure, Libertarian Mutual Aid at libertarianmutualaid.org. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're everywhere. We need your support. And in a Bernie-esque way, we're asking a lot of people to give a little bit of money because we have already begun to replace, if you will, the poverty industrial complex in places like southern New England. Libertarian affiliates or liberty groups reach out to us. We're a not-profit. We're set up legally so that we can take donations and actually liberty affiliates, whether it be Libertarian Party or others, to engage in this type of human action in their community.
All right, Eric, plug away before you get out of here.
Free State Project, FSP.org. We are a mass migration of libertarians to the Live Free or Die state of New Hampshire. It's been going on for 23 years, and the results speak for themselves. Over a quarter of the New Hampshire House of Representatives are libertarians, small L libertarians, generally running as Republicans, but we're all one big movement. It doesn't matter the vehicle. What matters is the results. And that's why Defend the Guard is passing, school choice is passing, no income tax, no sales tax. Come out and join us. Come out and visit. Come out for the Porcupine Freedom Festival next June, the New Hampshire Liberty Forum next April, and you can learn all about that at fsp.org. Thank you both.
All right. Thanks, everybody, stopping by. We're just going to probably wrap it up here, start packing up.
Yeah, no, stay in touch. I'd love to pitch this to you guys, but more importantly, from an LP or whatever perspective, if there's anything I can do.
Yeah, it's been fun, guys.
Eric Dietrich.
Been good hanging out with everybody.
And I guess Otto was here for a little bit.
He might have been.
Anyway.
I don't know. I don't even know if Otto stepped up to the mic.
We'll see you on Thursday.
Yep. See you, everybody. Donate to Rage.